Whispers in the alley, shadows on the street. Promises were golden, now they taste like deceit. A crown made of silence, a throne built on fear. He don't face the people, he don't come near. 5 lords at the table, pouring wine and lies, selling out tomorrow just to feed their pride. Ink on the contracts, blood under the seal. They talk about trust, but don't know what's real. We've been knocking on the gates, asking what you know, but you don't say a word, you just let it go. You don't stand with the people, you don't speak the truth, you don't break the chains, you just tighten the noose. Fact over feelings, we see through the play. Stay resilient, yeah, we're not fading away. You don't answer the cries, you don't step outside. You hide in your marble walls while the daylight dies. An evil fool grinning, counting names and files. Bought our life for cheap, wore a saint's disguise. Information traded like it ain't a soul, while the kingdom bleeds and the coffers grow. But sparks in the ashes, 3 hearts still brave. They don't bow to power, they don't behave. From the cracks in the wall, hear the old drum beat. Rebellion rising from the dust of defeat. We were fed illusions, dressed up as law, but the truth hits hard when the veil gets torn. You don't stand with the people, you don't speak the truth, you don't break the chains, you just tighten the noose. Fact over feelings, we see through the play. Stay resilient, yeah, we're not fading away. You don't answer the cries, you don't step outside. You hide in your marble halls while the daylight dies. Hear the footsteps echo down the stone. Every lie you told is coming home. Crowns don't weigh much when the faith is gone, and change don't knock, it stuns you.
What is up, everybody? What is up? I am finally happy to be back. Had a little bit of hiccups, not having to do with what happened last time. Just needed to focus on some health stuff, but we are back. What is up, everybody? What's up, Sean? What's up, Primal Ranger? What is up, everybody? We're just gonna have a chill stream as a welcome back to YouTube and getting back on the getting back with everything. I'm glad to finally be back. Just a heads up, and I know there's not a lot of people, probably not going to be a lot of people, knowing after the debacle that happened, but we are not going to bring up the past. We are moving forward. We don't acknowledge that channel, so we're moving forward. We're going to be doing our thing and, keep doing us. Did you see my Ninja Storm outfit Rav stream made me? No, send it to me. I will. Oh, actually, I think I did. Send it to me in a DM and I'll go ahead and I'll showcase it, my man. Definitely, definitely. We're gonna be doing all that. Juicebox, it wasn't the same without you. Welcome back, my friend. Thank you, my man. Thank you. We are acknowledging everybody. We are doing everything, and the channel wasn't originally even going to be Power Rangers, just Power Rangers at the beginning. So today we're going to be talking about the Intellivision Amico stuff. I mentioned that we were going to be doing that, and people were genuinely interested about the Amico because they haven't heard of it or they didn't even know about the Amico. So I got a really cool show today to show you guys, like the cool Amico lore and the whole debacle. Because if you guys think that the whole um Legend of the White Dragon stuff was a crap show, you have no idea what the Intellivision Amico went through. Okay, thank you so much, my man. I'm gonna go ahead and showcase it right now. Okay. So Daniel is working on his Power Ranger project. It's a really good book. I'm actually reading it right now, and it is it is very I can't wait to talk to you all about it until like once everything is in, and it's a really good read. That's all I can tell you guys. You also got a shout out from Beauty Baby Aga for a YA. Hey, that's cool for a young adult project. That's awesome, dude. Because I know that Daniel does work for a lot of at risk youth stuff. So it's really encouraging to see his work flourishing. I'm gonna go ahead and showcase his Ninja Storm. Oh, thank you, Mean Green. Welcome. Thank you, thank you. Welcome in, everybody. It's really cool to see everybody here. I'm gonna go ahead and showcase Daniel's cosplay, and it's really fire. It's really, really fire. Okay, look at that. That's really cool. And Daniel, were you like in your dojo or something like that? So it says it's my new Ninja Storm Wind ninja suit made by Rav Seems. Yes, it's been 7 years since I walked away from karate after some major opportunities that turned into setbacks that I gave too much focus on. It took a lot of self reflection and self forgiveness to walk back into a dojo. When I say I love karate to the point of having trained a decade before walking away at 22. I gotta give thanks to Samurai Jacks for reminding me of that passion. That's cool. Hey, look at that. He's doing the poses too. Oh, okay. There's sound. Hopefully, there's not music. Okay. I can't hear anything, but that's okay. Look at that. Yo, that is fire. Look at that. That is sick. That is sick. Whoa. That is talent. That's cool. That's sick. That is sick. I like that it's not only a cosplay, but I like that it's usable for everything else. So that's pretty cool. That is really cool. And thank you for sharing that, my man. So I've been sharing stuff to myself that I thought would be cool to show. So I guess we could go ahead and we could start with some stuff. So here's some news that I thought was really cool. So let's go ahead and let's start with so I can make clips. Ugh. All right, everybody. New news in the world of Marvel. Sony is reportedly now open to sharing its characters with Marvel Studios. Sony holds the exclusive rights to approximately 900 Marvel characters. So that's mostly the Spider-Man characters. So basically, they have not been able to use the Spider-Man characters because Sony has been locked in with that. And why this is, really big news is because Kevin Feige actually came out and said that he could not use Miles Morales. Here we go. So this is what Kevin Feige had reported. He said Miles Morales is currently not permitted to appear in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, as Sony has instructed Marvel to stay away while they complete their animated Spider-Verse trilogy. Feige indicated that for now, the character is restricted to Sony's production. This video explains why Miles Morales is not in the MCU yet. So basically, it's really interesting because they basically told Kevin Feige, yo, we don't want you to use to use Miles Morales because everyone wants Miles. Everyone has been asking for Miles. They're like, "Where's Miles? Where's Miles? We want Miles to appear with 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 Peter Parker." And I know that they hinted at Miles Morales because they had the Prowler. Give me 1 second. Played by Donald Glover. Let me see. Let's go ahead and let's pull him up. Here we go. All right, 1 second. Let's see. Where are you? I could just use this one. Let's see. Stop screen. Oh, sorry, I forgot to turn on the comments. Share screen. Here we go. So yeah, what I was saying was Donald Glover played his uncle in Spider-Man: Homecoming, and he was poised at first to be like champion to be Miles Morales because if no one is aware, Donald Glover originally was the catalyst for Miles because he was supposed to be in the forerunner for Peter Parker before Andrew Garfield. So he was poised to be it. But of course Andrew Garfield took the role, and of course Andrew Garfield was great in the role of Peter Parker. And we could only wonder what Donald Glover would have been like because I think he would have been spectacular as Spider-Man. But he was so good that Marvel wanted to create the first African American Peter Parker or Spider-Man. So Donald Glover became, you know, Miles Morales. So fast forward to today, everyone wants Miles Morales in the MCU. But Sony does not want to play games because remember that Disney owns the toy rights to Spider-Man and all the merchandising rights. So they share the box office, but they're not sharing the revenue of the toys, which is the king moneymaker. So all the merchandise, all the t-shirts, all the toys, all everything that goes with Miles Morales goes to goes to Disney. And of course, Sony's going to want a better deal if they introduce Miles Morales. But because I'm speculating, this is all speculation on my part. I don't claim to know anything, but just speculation is that hold on one second. Is that because if this is true, that Sony is reportedly now open to sharing its characters with Marvel Studios is because they want to start making some revenue. And I'm all for it. I am all for it because I think Miles is a spectacular character. I'm going to admit when I first started reading Ultimate Spider-Man with Miles, I wasn't the biggest fan because I was so invested to Peter Parker. So for me, Peter Parker was the end all be all of Spider-Man. I couldn't accept the fact that there was another Spider-Man. I was like, why are you guys calling him Spider-Man? Like, I really don't like this, and it wasn't anything to do with race. I just was so enamored with Spider-Man that I was just like, whatever, man. Like, I really don't it's not my cup of tea. But once Miles started coming around and started going into different media, now I was just like, oh, cool. Like, I really want to watch Miles Morales. I really want to see what Miles is about. And so, you know, here we are. And I'm a huge Miles fan. And I really want to see what the future holds for Miles. I really want to see what Miles is going to be doing, and I hope we see a lot more of Miles because, I mean, look at this. I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. I want to see Spider-Man flourish. So only time will tell, and we'll keep seeing everything, looking at everything, and I'll report on anything if Miles does indeed come to the, MCU. And I will see you on the next one. Peace. All right, cool. Thanks. That kata was filmed 2 hours after working out. I was exhausted when I filmed in Ninja Storm outfit. I bet, man. I bet. You looked tired, but you look like you were having fun, and that's the most important part. Let's see. All right, let's see what else we can talk about before we get into the Intellivision stuff.
God bless me.
Oh yeah. Are you going to PMC this year? I'm hoping so. I'm really hoping I can go to PMC unless I have like a health scare or something. I probably won't. So let's go ahead and let's take
The reason I have a Rolls Royce is because God blessed me with the Holy Spirit of ecstasy.
That ain't holy.
Little bitch, I show you holy. I don't give no fuck.
Oh.
Lord, forgive me in Jesus' name. These kids. The reason
Let's hear that again. That was hilarious.
I have a Rolls Royce is because God blessed me with the Holy Spirit of ecstasy.
That ain't holy.
Little bitch, I show you holy. I don't give no fuck.
I love these pastors, man. They're hilarious. Let's see.
It's over now. It's fucking over now.
Oh yeah, that whole Blake Lively, Taylor Swift stuff is crazy. Okay, this is pretty cool. We can go ahead and we can make a segment out of this one. I love those fire and brimstone pastors. They are hilarious. They do not care like about anything except their money. Get your money up, not your funny up, man. Let's see. All right. Hold on one second, my guys. Give me just 1 second, my guys. Okay. New news in the world of Comic-Cons. Comic-Cons ban AI-generated art from its 2026 art show amid artist backlash. San Diego Comic-Con has updated its rules for the 2026 art show, announcing that only artwork created entirely by humans will be allowed for display and sale following growing concern from artists about the role of AI in creative spaces. The updated guidelines state that submissions made partially or fully with AI tools will not be accepted, reinforcing the event's focus on original human created work across comics, science fiction, fantasy, and broader fandom culture. The art show is open to the public and traditionally serves as a major platform for independent artists, with organizers explaining that the art show coordinator will make the final decision to whether submitted pieces comply with the new standards. This policy change places one of the world's most influential fan conventions firmly on the side of traditional artistic authorship at a time which debates around AI generated art continue to intensify across creative industries. Um, yeah, I mean, I think Brent was talking about this last time that he was up, and yeah, I mean, Comic Cons are sticking for their artists. I mean, they're not condoning AI. I think this is the first step towards like AI being banned in a lot of platforms, and um I mean that's the way that people want to go with it. I mean, AI, it's a touchy subject. It's a touchy subject, and like I said, my stance on AI is that I don't like it when it's used generatively without any what's the word? Rhode Island Comic Con banned it this year at after the Rican. No, really? Was it because of Rican Rager? That's news to me. But yeah, I mean, AI, I don't like it when it's used generatively. I think if, you're a struggling artist or like struggling, creator, and you're using AI and you're open about using AI because you're broke or anything like that, I think that's totally fine. But, once you start getting into this realm is when, it starts getting dicey, when you start selling selling merchandise with AI that you didn't make, making a comic book with AI, making a show with AI, without doing any of the work yourself. That's where it starts getting dicey. And, at some point, once you start getting bigger, I think, you really should start paying your artists, because I mean, what else? You're getting bigger. You're starting to promote, like I said, other people. Like even on my platform, I paid Prince Branyan for my new logo, for my new thumbnail and things like that. And I paid him for it. I didn't, use AI on it. I paid the guy to do it for me. So, once you start getting bigger and you can afford things like that, then it's kind of like, okay, cool. Like, start getting away from AI. But like I said, this is the first step towards banning AI in these kinds of fandoms, especially since DC said, while he's in charge of DC, um, AI artwork is not going to be in DC. But let us know what you think in the comment section, and I will see you in the next one. Peace. All right, cool. Oh yeah, this one was cool. This one was
An anime bar in Texas.
okay. I kind of want to go out over this one too. I'm glad this is chill stream because I could just chill out with you guys and we can just go over the news, go over some cool articles. Uh, I got a corner booth for PMC this year to soft launch my book. I'm going to use the convention to exclusive art. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Time only, not for resale, limited. Yeah, that's cool, man. I'm glad that you're gonna be at PMC selling your book. Cool, man. I am looking forward to that. Then I will definitely, if I am good and I am able to, I am going to stop by your booth. Did you hear about the guy who stuck his head in the Olive Garden refrigerator? Friley? No. Send me that. Send me that on Instagram and we'll take a look at that right now. That sounds hilarious. Okay, so I want to talk about this. This is really cool. So apparently there's a little bit of controversy with did you see the post about Mythos Force? Yes, unfortunately I did. I mean we can cover it and it's unfortunate. That's all I have to say about that. Young Sage fell off hard. Yeah, man. I mean, I've told him and I've told him at this point the only thing that I can see him doing is actually putting out the product. Actually putting out the product and doing a worthwhile product. And yeah, man, I mean it's totally unfortunate. Okay. Well, we can go over it. That's fine. Okay, but first I do want to go for the anime Matsuri thing. I know it's in Texas and apparently there's controversy with that, so I do want to go with that. I don't believe a word Legacy of Nerd has to say anyways. I mean, he does get a lot of exclusives, so I mean, I would be interested in seeing who his inside person is. And I mean, if Sage wants to give his inside person, because I remember on my interview he said that he had an inside person in Hasbro. If he ever does come out with it, I mean that would set the record straight. But that's the only thing that Sage can do is do that. He gets exclusives, but he's also a hater. I mean, I've never interacted with the guy. I've heard rumors and speculations, but that's all I know is rumors and speculations. So I can't comment on that, my guy, except if you say he is, I say he is, man. Okay.
An anime bar in Texas banned a woman for trying to help an SA victim. Let's talk about it.
What I'm saying is, if it's not involving you and it was not any of a friend of yours, why should you go and give any statement to police guy?
I wasn't trying to.
I don't give a fuck.
It's a bit hard to hear, but here's what the caption says. The video identified the establishment as the anime bar in Sugar Land, Texas. And based on this one video that appears to be nothing more than retaliation against the bystander, I wouldn't blame you for staying 10 feet away from this bar. But it gets way deeper than that because, as it turns out, this guy isn't the owner. These two are. Their names are John and Denise Lay, a husband and wife couple and co-owners of Anime Matsuri, Texas. And the list of the substantiated allegations against them spans pages. For starters, John and Denise failed to provide timely payments to their investors and venues, which prompted at least 10 civil lawsuits.
Let's pause that. Oh my god. So Davis versus Anime Matsuri. This was in 2025. So that was really recent. That was June of 2025. It says Mankind, Olu something Productions, civil lawsuit in 2019. Guardian Capital Management LLC. Ooh, is that a tech collector? That was in 2018. Illumination Fireworks LLC, probably like some sort of fireworks show. Oh, what's up, Lil Breezy? Um, Looks like they sued Anime Matsuri, Wagner Media LLC. Jesus Christ! So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different lawsuits just in this page alone. Let's see.
Against them. The couple kept pieces of merchandise from one of their Japanese guests, intending to sell them without authorization or knowledge. The Lays sabotaged another convention, Delta HCon, by telling people they could get free entry to Delta H by showing their Anime Matsuri tickets. Of course, Delta H didn't know anything about this. But it gets much more serious than just money or competition. For instance, multiple women in the Lolita fashion community accused John Lay of repeated sexual harassment, sexual contact, and innuendos. John even pressured one model to describe her last orgasm.
Jesus Christ!
In 2015, cosplayer Chocolate alleged with screenshots that John asked her for nude photos via online messages after inviting her to.
The wings were shipped out yesterday. I meant to write you, but was finished really late shooting. I'm flying home tonight, so I will send you the logo ASAP when I'm back. What kind of pictures are we talking about? Naked, of course. Oh, okay. So it looks like that was the cosplayer, and that's the owner, John. Oh crap. Okay, whoa. I mean, you can't be clearer than that.
Guest at Anime Matsuri. When confronted with these allegations, Denise Lay chose to shift the burden to John's victims, arguing that they should have just asked them to stop. And
oh man, we're gonna have to pause.
This is all capped off by the decision to invite an alleged child predator to their convention as a guest. And when another creator posted a video calling out Anime Matsuri for their actions.
To be fair though, a lot of people message these guys telling them, oh, Sky Frank did this, oh, Jacob Frank did that, oh, this and that, and a lot of these people don't listen, and they just keep on doing stuff anyway. It's kind of unfortunate, and I mean, I'm not surprised.
The Lays serve that creator with a cease and desist order. If they see this video, I may have to take this one down at some point too. And it's not because the Lays and Anime Matsuri might continue their behavior. It's because I'm convinced that they have and they are. And my evidence is the problematic people they hired and the toxic work environment that they fostered at the anime bar in Sugarland. No organization in the cosplayer anime community that victimizes women, intimidates guests, blames victims, and lashes out against bystanders deserves our support. For your own safety, if not for anything else that they've done, you should stay away from this establishment.
Damn, that's crazy. I just want to go ahead to that part where I want to see what the wife had to say. Of course, all of this is alleged and free use, guys. Just in case if Anime Matsuri does want to come after me when I make this clip. You know, free use, and all of this is alleged. I've never been to Anime Matsuri. This was just on my docket, and, you know, I thought this was interesting news. Sorry, guys. I just want to go ahead to the part where the wife says something.
Civil lawsuits against them. The couple kept pieces of merchandise from one of their Japanese.
Oh, okay. Baby, the stars shine bright. I'm guessing that this is like their the celebrity stuff. Let's see. We've heard about this problem last week from Redacted. We appreciate to your care, but we don't need to solve it because it's long time ago, more than 1 year. We can't mention what items didn't return from Anime Matsuri 2014, so it's okay for us that it's missing items won't return to Japan. Oh, okay, so I'm guessing that they reached out to this company and asked them about the missing items, and they're just like, yeah, we know what's missing, and Redacted is aware, and we're just like, we don't want to deal with it because it's not going to go all the way to Japan.
His guests, intending to sell them without authorization or knowledge. The ladies sabotaged another convention, Delta H-Con, by telling people they could get free entry to Delta H by showing their Anime Matsuri tickets. Of course, Delta H didn't know anything about this. But it gets much more serious than just money or competition. For instance, multiple women in the Lolita fashion community accused John Lay of repeated sexual harassment, sexual contact, and innuendos. John even pressured one model to describe her last orgasm. In 2015, cosplayer Chocolate alleged with screenshots that John asked her for nude photos via online messages after inviting her to guest at Anime Matsuri. When confronted with these allegations, Denise Lay chose to share.
Here we go. Okay, so let's see. So this is a text message to Denise, and it says, every touch became disgusting. I understand these are serious allegations, but I wouldn't make something like this up. When this happened, I even told Vinny about it. While I respect that you love your husband and have kids from him, it breaks my heart that so many girls are so many people can't be wrong. I hope that every girl that has uh sexual passes from your husband gets the justice they deserve. And she says, I respect what you're telling me. There is a problem I have about this. You should have said it to him that you were uncomfortable and to stop. Tell someone to do something about it. Isn't that what uh, we're all taught to do? What the hell? She is doing something about it. She's telling you about it before she goes to the public.
Shift the burden to John's victims, arguing that they should.
Okay, so did he perhaps he felt comfortable to say things like that? Did he go through with it? No, right? You or anyone can tell me he is a predator without proof. I'm sorry, and please don't tell me being blind though. That's crazy. Like, this woman is openly telling you, amongst other women, that your husband's being, a weirdo, and she's writing it off. That's crazy. But you guys tell me what you think about Anime Matsuri. Are you guys going to be going to Anime Matsuri? Have you heard about this? Give Seijo Cosplay a follow. And we will include his link in the video. And let me know what you guys think. We will see you in the next one. Peace. Okay, cool. That's crazy. That is nuts. That wife literally told them, I don't care what you have to say about my husband. Okay. All right, cool. We're swimming along. Let's go ahead and let's get to the Intellivision stuff. I'm gonna give Pat and Ian from the CU podcast their flowers because they're the first ones that broke it, and I do want to show their video fair use because they do the best in explaining the Intellivision saga, I guess. I'm just looking for the video that we could start it with so that we can talk about the whole Intellivision saga. If you guys like it, let me know. We can go ahead and we can make a whole video going through the whole playlist of the Intellivision Amico, because that would be really fun, I think. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, this was 4 years ago. So if you guys really think the Power Ranger community is full of grifters, you have no idea what was in the Intellivision Amico space. So shout out to Pat the NES Punk and the CU podcast. They were the first ones to break it 4 years ago, and I really want to show you guys their coverage of it. And if you guys really like it, just let me know. I can go ahead. We can go ahead and we can get a whole coverage of this Intellivision Amico stuff, because it really is, you know, interesting stuff. So let's go ahead and let's add it.
3 weeks off of E3. It seems like it was a year ago.
Very
everything was longer ago.
There was a lot of great presentations at E3 that happened. Nintendo had a great showing.
Microsoft had a decent showing. Actually, there weren't a lot of great things.
Limited Run had good stuff.
Yeah, Limited Run did. You're right.
Then there was the Intellivision Amico 10-minute presentation that happened. And I remember I said, I should probably redo my quote or edit it in. This is going to be a weird turning point. Now that there's a public face to this marketing campaign and to this console.
Oh, yeah.
That was delayed twice, about to be delayed a third time. That was supposed to come out October 10th, 2020 originally. That now you're going to have mainstream games media picking this up or following it and be like, what the hell is this thing?
So just for clarity's sake, the Intellivision Amico was when the mini consoles were coming out, like the SNES Mini, the NES Mini, all of the mini consoles that were coming out, and they wanted. Tommy Tallarico got the licensing, I believe, for the Intellivision library, and he wanted to make a new Intellivision. What was the Intellivision? So, the Intellivision was a console way back when. I'll go ahead and I'll put it up. Give me 1 sec. It was around the time of the Atari, and it was a very popular console. It was on par with Atari, and so they had their own library of games. They people loved the Intellivision, and they wanted to see like a mini console of it, because as you can see, this controller right here looks like a phone, because it kind of is like a phone. That it had the overlays for the controls. Every game had its own type of controller, and you couldn't really do that on an Atari at the time because it had multiple buttons for it. So Atari wanted to do its own thing, and they were competitors. So people were asking for Intellivision, and Tommy got the licensing, I believe, and wanted to make a console out of it without doing the work for it. So going back to Pat and Ian, they showed off what it was and their opinions on it 4 years ago,
and starting to look into it. And it's happened at much quicker rate than I thought. Jeff Gertzman talking about it with Giant Bomb.
Jeff Gertzman on Giant Bomb. Ars Technica, which we'll get into a bit more. Digital Foundry has talked about it. I can't even keep up on all the places that have talked about it. And there's been some, and as of this morning, before we started to record, Sam Mekovich from Ars Technica released a full article, a very deep article going into the behind the scenes stuff of the Amico and what's going on with it and where a lot of question marks lie. The article does a beautiful job of basically covering every point. And I'm not saying that they listen to us, but I'm just saying it covers everything that we've been saying the whole time.
Sure.
Let me go ahead and let me skip.
You would hope that the photos that you would see would be official photos of people holding the actual controllers.
4 months before your release and 8 months after the first release. Again, if these were stock photos, like at an original presentation at PRG 2017, I wouldn't care. Okay, but we're way past this is what the console's supposed to appear like in use. We are far past that point. We're at the point where we need to see these being real in everyone's hand and examples of them being for your E3 video. For E3, this isn't, we're way past proof of concept at this point. So talked about that and he got pushed back on that. So this summary is so good because it really gets into why there's not a market for this console, because you're competing in a price category with the Switch.
Yeah, they were selling it for the same price as the Switch, which I believe was $250, $300 at the time.
So to picture, imagine an online flash gaming portal full of mostly flat 2D game designs with a few 3D twists and visual flourishes, and you get some idea of Amico's visual aesthetic. That breaks it down right there at its surface. You are paying for something at $250, $300 that you're competing with Nintendo at that point. You're competing with Microsoft at that point, at those price points, where we're talking worlds of difference of quality there.
Sure.
That is true, because it's kind of like, why am I going to buy the Amico and play, cell phone games when I can, for the same price, get the Switch or the Xbox at the time?
It's like, it doesn't make any sense. Intellivision has been frank that Amico was built with budget-priced gaming in mind. Its official specs page makes that clear, with performance numbers that resemble lower-powered Android smartphones. Lower-powered Android smartphones. This recent leak from Intellivision's online developer portal provided concrete specifics about how much hardware power this $250 system and its controllers will eventually deliver. And there it is. We have the specs finally.
Okay, there we go. So $250 they were asking for it.
And the Qualcomm Snapdragon 624 APQ.
So the Qualcomm Dragon... what was it? Sorry. The Qualcomm Dragon...
This $250 system and its controllers will eventually deliver. And there it is. We have the specs finally. And the Qualcomm Snapdragon 624 APQ 8053 Lite 8 ARM A53 cores at 1.8 gigahertz. That was the specific information they were trying to remain hidden for all this time. What is in this console? What is in your game console? Why is this being hidden? 2 gigs of DDR3 RAM.
Okay. He's telling
the GPU is
us.
an Adreno 506 GPU. I'm not too familiar with that. And then you get
when you want all the profits but spend none of the costs. Pretty much.
The rest of the specs right there. LED light string, 15 LEDs per side, 10 LEDs in front, 25 LEDs.
Who cares about the LEDs?
What a waste. What a waste of money and depth. What a waste. These LEDs. What a waste.
He wants to make a system as cheesy as he is.
What a waste. It's like we want to bejewel our jeans. It's just gaudy and just, oh God.
It's interactive lighting though. It's going to add crazy dimensions. So now we're supposed to look at the TV screen, the controller on the screen, and the lighting on the console.
That is true. I didn't even think of that. Like, you're supposed to look at the TV, you're supposed to look at the controller because the controller is supposed to do stuff, and then you're supposed to look at the console.
So we're supposed to focus our eyes on 3 different places at once.
So the big takeaway from the specs is how cheap this system on a chip Qualcomm is. What in bulk? What was it? The price
looked like approximately $38.
$38. Your system on a chip. It's $38. This basically Android board. That's what you're looking
but
at.
It's got to be $250. I wonder why it's got to be $250. Well,
profit margin, which we'll get into.
There's 2 reasons.
Yeah,
there's a few reasons. Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
Well, I can say it right now. What we talked about at the time, I always said earlier on that this was a wholesale play. They know this isn't going to last if this comes out. This is going to be dead. You got to make all your money up front.
Right.
You got to make your money on the console. This isn't like Nintendo losing money or breaking even, or like PlayStation losing money recouping over the years. They got to make their money.
Should be one of the first things that sets off a flag is that this isn't running like any other console business.
No, they're not planning on making their money back on the software or on accessories. They need to make their money the first day. They need to make all their money from you.
Yeah,
that's a huge red flag. It's also a red flag if wholesalers aren't confident enough to keep it on the shelves, or they know that we can't sell. What software going to sell? RFID cards, where if they have any influence on the price
by
as well, partnering with Tops, that the wholesaler then even realizes.
Okay,
is noted in this probably very sketchy investment video that the cut
reminds me of the Swap Meet 201 plug and play console. I mean, this was supposed to be a legitimate console. I'll show you guys what they were touting. They even touted freaking Earthworm Jim 3. He claimed that Earthworm Jim 3 was going to be on this console, guys.
For Intellivision takes the Intellivision's cut from the third-party sales
game
revenue
sales. Around 50%.
50% they're taking from game devs when they sell it.
What the hell? They were going to take 50% of the profits from the game developers. I completely forgot about this. So basically, they're saying we'll let you put out your games on our console, but we're going to take 50% of the profits from you. That's wild.
50%.
We're currently in the middle of a years-long discussion about 30% being too high and storefronts that get it lower than that. And
Epic Games started it with only doing like 12%.
Tommy wants to come out of the gate with 50%.
Microsoft's starting to lower theirs. There's starting to be some competitive balance. It's capitalism at work. We want to attract devs to our store. And it's a legal thing now we're getting into.
This is where Tommy is trying to buy clout is going to bite him in the ass.
You can't do that, Tommy. This isn't just me saying that. You cannot say things like that to investors. You cannot misrepresent huge contributions to the Amico team. You can't do that. One of those things where, hey, get in the inside crowd, invest in this stuff I picked out. They did a sleazy infomercial that Tommy appears on in order to sell it, I guess, to Neil Patel subscribers. According to this article, it was recorded after Allard's.
Okay. So the Neil Patel thing was Neil Patel was this grifter that alleged grifter that was going after retirees in Florida, and those retirees were looking for investments to put their money into, and Neil Patel was like, yo, put it into the Amico and all this stuff. So we're about to get to it.
Last public statement about Amico and reviewed by Ars Technica includes a pledge, this video, that the co-founder of Xbox has been making huge contributions to the Amico team. You can't do that. You can't, if the guy's been gone, you can't say that to potential investors. You can't do that.
This is where
that's a legal thing now.
So okay. That reminds me. So basically, Tommy said that a big person from Xbox. Hold on one second. Let me get who Tommy said. Television Amico. Xbox consultant. Jay Allard. So Jay Allard was the co-founder of Xbox. So Neil Patel was telling these old people in Florida, hey, invest in this because Jay Allard is still on board with making this thing. And of course, Jay Allard, as you can see in the bottom, is the co-founder of Xbox. Why wouldn't you want to do something that the co-founder of Xbox is attached to?
We're getting into.
This is where Tommy is trying to buy clout is going to bite him in the ass.
You can't do that, Tommy. This isn't just me saying that. You cannot say things like that to investors. You cannot misrepresent to investors. You can't. This can get you into literal legal trouble. Stuff like this. That's ridiculous. System was originally supposed to launch in October 2020, 5 months before that solicitation to investors was filmed. By October, Allard was gone. He was gone by the fall. He was gone. Can't do a video 5 months after he got, at least after he's gone.
That's crazy. They were telling them, the old people and the investors, that he was still on board months after he was gone.
That, hey, he's making huge contributions.
Right.
You can't do that.
Okay, so what I want to show you guys now is the Earthworm Jim 3 stuff. Oh, sorry, Earthworm Jim 4. Okay. Yeah, he showed this off, saying that it was gonna be on the Intellivision Amico, an exclusive for the Amico. I'm gonna put the sound off because I don't want to get copyright claimed or anything like that. No, that's not it. That's not it. Amico. Oh, I guess that is it. Yeah. Okay. I'll just have the sound off because, like I said, I don't want to get copyright claimed. So yeah, they had them running left and right, like really crisp looking, and people have wanted Earthworm Jim for a long time. Yeah, see? Intellivision Amico. And then, they asked the creators about it, and they're like, we have no idea what's going on. Like, Tommy, we told Tommy it might be a cool idea, but that's about it. So, we can go over this. If you guys want me to go over the Intellivision Amico and, go part by part on it, I'd be more than happy to do so. Just let me know. Let me know what you think, if this was the first time you heard about the Intellivision Amico, and we will see you on the next one. Peace. Yeah. The Intellivision Amico is a crazy debacle because there was crowdfunding involved. There was a Bavarian grant. There was government grants for this, and I mean, it is pure nuts. And I'd be more than happy to share it with you guys if you guys really are interested in hearing what the Amico debacle was. Let's see. But I'll go ahead and I'll share the newest Intellivision Amico news because I think it's cool and I wanted to go over it. Okay, so bear in mind, this is 5 years later, and this console never came out, guys. And they're still making news for it. So let's go ahead and let's take a look. Fair use. I'm gonna put Pat and Ian's YouTube in the comments section. Please follow them. They are really cool creators, and I just wanted to go over their coverage because their coverage is, if we do end up doing the whole Intellivision stuff, it reminds me of the Atari Jaguar, how the unsold console was reused. Oh my, yeah, dude. Even the Jaguar is part of the whole Amico scandal because it was supposed to be on the it was supposed to be used, like the unsold casings were gonna be used for the Calico Chameleon, which is what people wanted this thing to be. So let me go ahead and let me see. Let's see. I want to pin them to the top because I want people to follow Pat and Ian. So give me one sec. Okay, cool. So I really want you guys to click on the link, listen to their stuff because it's really interesting and it's stuff that I like and I think would be cool for you guys to listen about. So let's see. So like I said, that was a little bit of a intro into the Intellivision Amico. That was 5 years ago. It was supposed to come out like 4 or 5 years ago, never came out. And yeah, pretty much. Let's go ahead and let's see what is new with the Intellivision Amico according to Pat and Ian. Let's see.
For the Intellivision Amico console could come out. Oh, I'm sorry. Can't say it anymore. It's the Amico console.
Okay, so once we get to that part of the saga, if we do end up going there, so Intellivision was bought out by Atari, and Atari bought everything except the Amico. They wanted nothing to do with that. They said, "You guys can keep that turd. We don't want it."
Amico console, Amico Entertainment.
So they just put out a new update email. Where's my update on here? Update. They didn't wait for us to record this time. In my head, I said maybe they thought we were just recorded, but we didn't.
So yeah, the Amico.
So Pat and Ian used to do weekly podcasts, and then they turned it to monthly, and then now they're only doing it every so often when they feel like there's newsworthy stuff to cover, and of course, if there's any Intellivision news, they're going to be covering it.
Amico Entertainment New Year's update from 2026 is out, and in happy home game news, the Biplanes has taken flight on Nintendo Switch.
If you remember, Biplanes was like showed up in trailers here and there for like a second. It's literally a single screen, 2 biplanes shooting at each other.
So that was one of the games that Intellivision was touting as one of their like flagship games of why to get the game. And they were saying, "Oh, you can only do this on Amico. You can't do this on the Switch. You can't do this on Xbox."
What was always funny about Biplanes to me was that Tommy and all of them would talk about the incredible value of Amico, but Biplanes was one part of a 3-game pack on the original Intellivision, and
triple action.
Yeah. So instead of remaking, I mean, whatever, it's ridiculous. So it's out now on the Switch.
Fast-paced dogfights or team up against enemy waves in campaign mode.
Simple controls, exciting gameplay, family games.
What does that cost on the eShop?
I'm going to guess $14.99, but please look.
You can go on.
So after saying that, oh, it can only be played on the Amico can only do it. This is only, you need the controller in order to play this. They put this on phones to purchase. They put this on everywhere and anywhere to purchase except for the Amico console.
Graviators is coming out for the Switch. So Graviators was that interesting, like kind of like futuristic sports game that we saw where you had to get the ball and throw it into the goal. It's from the top down. It's neon.
Yes, they were European. Those were European.
Yes.
I don't know if they were Swedish or.
And I'm happy to see it. You know, I mean, the game got released, I believe, on Steam.
Value.
It's $14.99 for biplanes. Go on.
People on the Intellivision Amico forum, though, stated that while it was, you know, decent, it was also kind of very hard to control and felt amateurish.
Really? So
Yes.
they've been trying it out already. That's a shame because it looked nice. On the
No, I'm
surface.
talking about like the Steam one. It definitely did look decent. And as far as all of the games that Tommy was trying to shovel down our throats and be like, these look amazing, this was one of the only ones that I saw that I thought looked like it might have been fun to play. There's a 33% bundle savings now. You can get Evel Knievel, Finnegan Fox, and Cornhole. And then there's a Steam publisher bundle.
So these were also supposed to be like the flagship games on the Amico. Like why to buy the Amico was Evel Knievel, which, you know, kids these days don't know who Evel Knievel is. Like, I don't think they would even like know the reference if you were to, you know, if they were riding their bikes and doing stupid stunts and then you'd be like, hey, they're Evel Knievel. Like, I don't think they would understand what the heck you're talking about. And Finnegan Fox, which is supposed to be, you know, their flagship title, like their Mario, and Cornhole, because everyone loves Cornhole.
From Happy Home Games, Finnegan Fox and Evel Knievel, which to me says, hey, these aren't selling, which the fine folks on the Amico Reddit have been tracking. These games are not selling. They're posting stuff to Facebook and no one's liking them, commenting on them. They're simply just not getting any views. That no matter how hard they try, they are not gaining any traction. Amico Home, more games, great games coming to Amico Home. So Biplanes is going to get to Amico Home in expected mid-February of 2020.
So Amico Home is the Cornhole is a classic. Yeah, I'm sure. I played Cornhole, but not, you know, Cornhole on a phone or a console. So backtracking. So they put it on an app, Amico Home, in order to buy these things. So you have to buy the app in order to buy the games. Let me see if it's even on the Apple, because I know they were having issues because Apple doesn't like when you know they do things like that. Let's see. Oh, it's actually on Apple now. That's crazy. Okay. So I guess it's on Apple now. If kids don't know who Kick Batowski is, they sure as hell won't know who Evel Knievel is. It wasn't that the character on like Disney XD or something like that. I remember Kick Batowski for something. Like the name sounds familiar. Okay. So
Amico Home is their mobile ecosystem, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Perfect.
Which is, and this is the point. And then Armor Blitz is one that's coming. They're targeting for mid-March.
Hold on.
I don't know how many names it's at.
Armor Blitz was re-uploaded at least 3 times their trailer when they were caught using stolen assets.
Oh, yeah. So they originally were gonna make this tank game, and they stole the assets from battle tanks, and they got called out for it, and they were just like, oh, it's just placeholder graphics. It's just placeholder graphics. Kind of like arguments some AI users have.
Remember, from like museum websites, and just I forget the other sources. I forget, and they changed the name like 3 times from Tank Battle to what a disaster. I'm sorry. Go on.
No, that's fine. I think this is amusing though, because Amico Home News. So like Amico Home News, Amico Entertainment's New Year's update. You have to get to page 1.
Okay.
To the one that everyone wanted, page 5. And page 5, Amico hardware update.
Okay, so this is their current roadmap. So they want to do the Amico multi-platform, then they want to sell enough games that they make the Amico controller, and That's a whole thing in and of itself, guys, because I don't know if you guys know, but Apple does not like when you put third-party products onto the Apple ecosphere, because you can then reverse engineer into a way to hack the phones. So they really don't like when you start messing with it to make controllers for it.
2 years ago, we shared our phased plan to bring Amico hardware to market. Here's where we stand today.
Phased plan?
Here's where we stand today. Ready? Phase 1, establishing revenue through software. That was phase 1 2 fucking years ago. They said that.
Yeah, they've
2
been
years
talking
ago.
about this for
And
like
it's
two,
just-
two,
Our
3
first
years.
phase focused on generating operating revenue by bringing the Amico gaming experience to platforms people already own. Why do you need to take it to a platform that no one owns yet then?
Well, that's why I jokingly said about.
That is a legit question. If people are playing it on your phone and you bought it on the phone, why am I gonna buy a whole console to play what I can already play on my phone?
Like, yeah, you have to put this on the Switch because that's where people are.
Oh, well, yes, but the thing is, I'm just saying the holding up the charade that Amico is its own thing, that Amico Home is truly a viable successor to the system. That should be your first page. All of this other stuff that he's doing, that he says, is to supposedly get the wheels greased for Amico, yet they don't mention anything Amico specific until page 4. So then on the hardware update,
I think we should read all of this.
Okay. Our first phase focused on generating operating revenue by bringing the Amico gaming experience to platforms people already own.
Stop.
I did. I stopped there the first time.
But let's marinate in that for a second here. The entire argument and position for the entire past 7 years has been exactly this. In that one sentence, if they had only listened to people like us, and
that is legitimately true, because they told them at the very beginning, why don't you guys sell the games first, see if there's a market for the games, and then put out a console if the demand is there.
Others out there that said, show interest in the games first in the modern era, because we have so much choice to play these simple games on. Do that, establish that the games are worth it, then you go into the hardware route, which is a lot riskier, a lot more time intensive, and you can fall on your ass a lot easier, which they did.
If you make enough of these games and they actually stand out among the sea of these types of games, then you can have a little hardware as a treat.
Yeah. When it comes to Apple, you can just use an Xbox or PlayStation controller and put the controller into Bluetooth. I know that, but Apple does not like it when you make these controllers that are only for the Amico, or like to use your phone, because they wanted the phone to be used for the console. Apple does not like that, because Apple, you're then able to reverse engineer a way to hack the phone. That's why Apple does not like people doing these kinds of things.
So, anyways,
in May
2024, we launched Amico Home for iOS, joining our existing Android offering launched in November 2023, which is just a weird way to write that.
Yes.
And completing our planned OS support for mobile and TV streaming devices across both platforms. In June 2025, we expanded our software strategy to include native ports to Nintendo Switch in PC Steam with Evel Knievel, Finnegan Fox, and Cornhole under the Happy Home Games publishing banner. Throughout 2025, we've continued developing and updating games, with biplanes now available and Graviators launching next month. And a little over 2 years since we launched Amico Home on Android with only 2 games, we've expanded to 3 additional platforms with 9 games and more coming soon. Now we are turning some of our attention to the next phase of our plan.
Let me just stop and just That makes it sound like they've been hard at work behind the scenes and coding in their garage. These are games that have been fucking finished for like 6.5 years.
Yeah, there we go. 6.5 years. These games have just been sitting there gathering dust, not making the company money for about 6.5 years.
Yep. And they're trying to make it sound like they're just plugging away more. These games have been buttoned up forever.
And I could be wrong, but my understanding is that porting an Android app game that's made in an engine like Unity is probably not that hard to get it over. But there is another post on the Reddit where like you read, like he's given a kind of a sob story, and he's talking about how like in Biplanes, the original developer, after playtesting began, like went and did all of these things to like improve the game.
Yeah. But
then he was like, and while that's a lot of work, 90% of the work involved was importing the game and blah blah. It was just yeah. So phase 2, working towards Amico hardware controllers.
Okay, here we go.
It's good.
While we continue game development in 2026, we are actively working behind the scenes on our mission to bring Amico hardware controllers to market.
So they want to sell these controllers to market, and they want to mass produce these things, and they're expensive. If you know what the Wii U controller was, let me go ahead and let me pull it up. The Wii controller was expensive. You could not buy multiple Wii U controllers because they were like $150. Let me see. Yeah. Controller. Let me see if I can find it. What was the? Let's ask ChatGPT. Maybe ChatGPT will know. ChatGPT. Stop screen. Share screen. Let's see if ChatGPT will know. ChatGPT, when the Wii U was out, how much were the tablet controllers retailing for? Let's see. Here we go. It was $170 to $175 at the time. So these things were going to be comparable to it because they wanted these things to be touchscreen. They wanted to have LEDs. They wanted them to have all sorts of like crazy stuff. So imagine $170 for one controller. You cannot have multiple. They wanted you to be able to use your phone for the console. Let's see. Let's go ahead and let's get the screen back up.
Progress includes software development, added Bluetooth controller support, hardware planning, gathering updated component pricing, and manufacturing cost information.
This is so fucking funny to me because this is what the smart people that actually developed and manufactured actual hardware always said. A lot of the problems when you do this is sourcing materials after it's at its end of life or after. How do you replace those materials that you can find now that no one besides yours is going to want for?
Yeah, that is true because this was 6 years ago to make this stupid controller. So now those parts are defunct. No one is using those parts. So what are you going to do when you're going to need more parts if they don't make it anymore? You're going to have to specialize. When it comes to Apple, oh, okay, my bad. I thought I didn't see it. My bad.
5 years from now.
Yep.
That is such a its supply chain is such a huge part of doing these sort of things. This is where you actually have to like know how these businesses work and not like you would say wish cast it all into a system. Well, our controller, Ian, has a shitty LCD screen, has a microphone, it has 3 different gyros, it has these fucking spinners, and it has these thumb buttons. So what does it cost to get all those parts and to piece that together?
Well, and also,
and that's what I always told Reek and Ranger when he was always talking about his comic, because I would always ask him how much How much is the comic going to cost you? How much are the pages going to be worth? How much is the inking? How much is this? How much is that? It's not just the cost of the comic book, it's the cost of the putting into the comic book, and are you going to be financially able to recoup those costs?
You designed this how many years ago? So if you
Yeah.
did have anything that could allow for mass production of this, unless you can find all of these parts, you're basically starting from scratch.
Yes, this is 12-year-old technology now. That's what they're talking about.
Which is something that I just that's always in the back of my head is, when is this going to be released? Like it would be like Atari releasing a fucking 7800 in 1994.
Well, they released that a few years too late, but it's sort of the same thing.
Right.
But that's the same thing. They held on to it. But
so
you are never going to get updated manufacturing cost information. Like if they hadn't done it to now, that's something that you could do. I don't know, investigate that. I don't know, the past 2 years, investigate that, talk to suppliers, talk to, like, hey, listen, what's the closest equivalent to these little shitty thumb buttons that I tried at PRG that felt squishy and shitty? Like I thought that, like these, you can do this. This doesn't take a year.
Well, I think John finally realized that the only people left are absolute bottom of the barrel paste eaters. Who don't fucking understand anything. So business development, exploring partnerships and funding options, and funding options for parts. And you've had
several.
You've tried. You fucking tried, John.
That's crazy.
The wonderful tactile experience that people have loved at Amico demonstrations, like our public event at Turkey.
Okay, let's move
Complete realization of our vision for family game.
In Southern California, or this is like the
Boomers.
Boomers, which is the audience for this console. Phase 3 and
heard some about comic books. What up, Waldo? Specifically comic creation. So we're talking about the Amico, the Intellivision Amico, and the update for it. And so Pat and Ian were talking about how this is 12-year-old technology, and you can't find this technology easily available right now because the parts aren't being made a lot. So you're going to have to get them specially made. And what I was talking about is that what I was always telling Rican Ranger about his comic book that he would get so mad about, because I would tell him, Waldo, okay, Rican, so, you know, how much are you going to get the pages for? How much is the inking going to cost you? How much is this artist going to cost you? How much is this? How much is it going to be to print the thing? It all adds up. It's not just the cost of the comic book itself versus also this this console, you know? True. Me just soft launching my young adult is going to cost not just the paperbacks to submit as samples or gift, but hiring an editor, hiring a trademark lawyer, processing a copyright, buying ISBN. It's a lot. It's a lot. The answer I'm learning is a lot. Less a lot. Yeah, exactly. Hey, man, I'm glad
Amico console. Once we successfully bring Amico controllers to market, our focus will turn to the console, the complete realization of our vision for family gaming. We'll keep you updated as we make progress on each milestone. Your continued support means everything as we work towards these goals.
Continued milestone? They've been working on this thing for 6 years. All they've done is they haven't had a milestone besides putting the app on phones.
One, I feel like there's a lot of AI in here, a lot of M dashes,
really?
and there's no fucking way John
you're
writes
right.
this way.
There are M dashes. That's the longer one, which I hate. That.
Oh, it is AI, because AI does a lot of this dashing stuff.
There's no spaces in between the two words. Yeah, AI uses that a lot. You don't see that. That's a like old style writing that does not exist anymore.
But I just also the fact that either that or they finally paid a fucking editor.
Yeah, that's right. It'll do like this dash is not AI. I'm just going to put it as an example in the chat. Like that space in between the middle is what AI does a lot. That's kind of like a like if you want to see if something is AI, this is like kind of a um like like a hint that it can be AI.
To look over their press releases.
No, they ran it through AI. I know they just ran it through AI. I just think it's great that the next Playground has come out and done gangbusters, and good for them.
Mhm.
It was reasonable. We thought this is reasonable. It's not priced badly. It does what it says it does.
We're just gonna skip ahead.
Saying no shit.
We
No
want
fucking shit. We want to make our family-friendly games accessible to as many families as possible. And we need your help to find the right balance. We're asking our community, what do you think is a fair price for our game?
No freaking way they're asking this question. Are you kidding me? They're asking people what they think a fair price is? Shouldn't you know when you're making these games? Like, you should know how much you spent on it, like what's your overhead on it, and why they cost $14.99 or something like that. Holy crap.
So this quick 2 to 3 minute poll asks about pricing across Nintendo, Switch, Steam, and Amico home platforms. We're also curious about your interest in limited collector's box editions. We will use your input to guide our pricing decisions. Your voice matters whether you're already enjoying our games or have been waiting for the right price point to jump in. I have to say this right now. If you are asking customers what they will pay for your games, you have already lost.
That's what I said. Oh, Waldo, you're gonna have to stay in touch, buddy. You missed a whole portion, my man. They've been on this thing for 6 years. I'm gonna be covering the Amico. I think it's gonna be like a fun video series to make because like my Power Ranger fans already know about the grifting with allegedly Young Sage, with Rican Ranger, with all these people grifting, but they have no idea what it is with the whole Amico thing. It is on a ballpark all in and of itself, and just the little bit I went over before was like people were like, what the hell, man?
But no, you can do that, but you do that years before you come out with the games for sale.
Right, exactly.
That's what market research is.
I guess, yes.
And he just said it right there, Waldo. You do that years ahead. They've been on this for 6 years. They've been they barely released these games for the phones. And it's just been a debacle after debacle.
That's actual market research.
That's what you should have done in 2018. Before you even develop the games, you do mock-ups of like, hey, we have a simple game. It's going to look like this. It's going to do this. What would you pay potentially for this game? And then you decide, well,
and they hire people specifically for that. I've done these kind of market research before. You literally go in, you watch videos, you play the game, you look at what they have, and they literally ask you, how much would you pay for this?
not to produce the game based upon the
and they pay you. I think they used to pay me like $50 or something like that for like an hour or two of my time.
Feedback. That's what a proper market research strategy would have looked like if you were fucking sane people. You don't ask people for the price of your product after it's available for sale.
Level testing and whatnot. Yeah, exactly. I've done that before. I continue to do that.
But we did but they did tons of market research.
Holy shit. This is like 101 business stuff. You don't need to go, you don't need an MBA for these things.
I mean,
I'm like, this has to be parody.
The market research was Tommy huffing his farts and going on a vision quest, like as best as I
All
can.
right. Well,
that's hilarious. Huffing puffs of his own farts going on a vision quest. I'm going to use that from now on.
Oh, we're going to help him with the market research, Ian.
Oh, hold on one second. Thank you and best wishes for 2026. Okay. Thank you for being part of the Amico.
The fair price point for the following video games on each specified platform. All amounts are in US dollars. You don't need to answer every question or mark every row on each question. Please only mark answers for platforms and games you've played or seen enough description or demonstration of to form an opinion. who would have seen a demo of all these potentially? This is not market research. What is this?
Yeah.
Recommended price.
Yeah, this is not market research because they're sending this to like their email lists and stuff like that. So that's like already the people that are willing to pay for their shill. So like what you want to go is like to people who are not gamers, to cell phone users, to all this stuff, because they're the ones that you're reaching out to. They're your new customer base.
For happy home game products on Nintendo Switch. Please select one per game. All right. Keep in mind again, some of these games are out and you can buy them for like $15. And
that's right. They're already out. So why are you asking people about like that? You're basically saying, oh, how much would you have paid?
They're asking you after the fact what you would pay for them.
What also makes no sense is where else would I have seen this or played this to give him a proper price point?
This is fucking madness. So, okay, biplanes, Ian. Would you pay $199, $299, $399, $499 up to Evil and Finnegan Fox? Evil Knievel still $1.99, I'm guessing?
Mm-hmm.
And then Finnegan Fox.
I'm going to say Finnegan Fox. Look, if I'm judging a screenshot or a video, $7.99. Still not knowing if the game's actually
future Amico console or for a free Google Play for the game of your choice on Steam.
Okay.
Unless it's a non-shovelware release.
Sure. Here's the one I'm pissed at because I'm the idiot.
Oh, okay. So, oh my God, I'm telling you guys, this is gonna be a whole deep dive. This is a whole deep dive. If I'm like going through all of this, because there's so many layers to that. So they originally sold these games as physical copies, and the console isn't even out yet. So let me go ahead and let me show you. So they actually sold games already for this, and you could have gotten a refund for them, but they were like, oh, but you know, you could use the codes for actual games, and you know, it was a whole thing. Okay, let's see. Stop sharing. Share screen. So this is what the physical games look like. It came with a coin, and it came with a card that would be like RFID for the console. So it was a nightmare and a half, to put it bluntly. Because people were like, well, what's stopping the RFID to me taking the box, using the card through the box, and getting the game and reselling the game already? Look at the upcoming WWE 2K26. The DLCs are ridiculous, paying like $30 for. I did not know about that, Waldo. You're gonna have to send me that and I'll cover that. That sounds egregious. I have not covered a WWE game, so I don't know what's going on with it. Send it to me, my man, and I will cover it. Yeah, it's nuts. This whole Amico thing was nuts then, and it's nuts now.
If it included a download code for the game of your choice on Steam or Nintendo Switch, please exclude shipping costs, typically around $9 US, from the additional amount. Each budget comes with a 3D lenticular card, premium metal coin, and an RFID game card used to download the game on a future Amico console or for a free Google Play download code at amicoclub.com. Current offerings include Biplanes, Evil Knievel, and Finnegan Fox. Wow. So I have all 8 of these, Ian, and I paid $20 each for the set of 4. So that's $80 for the set of 4. So that's what I got. And I was gifted the other 4. So what they're saying is,
so $160 for all of those games just to get the coin.
Is if you wanted to buy this, but actually you can play this on Steam or Switch, because I fucking can't use this for those. What would you pay for this on top of the digital only? So basically, for this trinket, what extra would you pay? What value do you see in the lenticular card and the coin?
I have genuinely never seen the value. DuckTales remake by Way Forward did that. Actually, they released a physical PS3 box with a collector's pin in it and a download code. They charged $20. I think $20 is, and I don't think that was actually any more expensive than.
Yeah, I wouldn't pay more than $30 for like a physical copy of a digital game, because like if the digital game goes down, you can't play it. I bought Marvel's Avengers for the PS4 and I had it in my possession for a long time. I never touched it. And I heard that the DLCs were all free. Like I didn't have to pay for anything. So I was just like, I got sick and I finally had time to play. And I was just like, okay, cool, I'll play it. So I popped it in, and it's not on the PS like service anymore. So I can't play the game. Even though I have the physical copy, I cannot play the game. It sucks. Like I'm just sitting here and I'm like, well, I can't play this game because it's not on yeah, I have the disc version of the event. Yes, we both have the disc version. So if you deleted it and you want to play it again, you're screwed. You can't play it anymore. You can't download the software patches, and basically you have a very expensive paperweight. It sucks. So I got screwed because I didn't play it on time and I didn't download the software patches. I can't download the software patches anymore because it's a PS5. It's not on PC. Maybe if I get a PC version, I could download like some fan-made software updates, but I can't play it. So basically that's what they're talking about.
Or maybe it was $29.99 and it was $10 more than the actual digital game. I think $10 more is the most you can get away with, and that's not even a plastic case. That's paper.
It's like a light cardboard.
Oh, that's
thing.
right. I forgot. It's a digipack. Yeah, it's a digipack. So I would say no more than $10 more. And that's,
you would pay $10 more than the game price for this.
No. Well,
that's how the question's framed.
I wouldn't pay any more for it. What I'm saying is, in a world of game,
it depends on what's in it. Like if it's something cool, like exclusive artwork, if like there's extra content, if there's something limited in that thing, I wouldn't mind paying $10 more, but not more than that. No wonder I saw this game for like $5 at Retro Game Store today for PS4. That's so scum. Yeah. I wouldn't even pay $5 for it because you can't play it. Sorry, I'm like, I am livid when it comes to this kind of thing because I popped it in. Because that's why I buy physical, is because I want to play it later, and I can't play it later because I can't download the patches for it. Sorry, it makes me, it brings my piss to a boil.
Games getting released as download codes, I would never pay more than $10 for a package.
The question
wouldn't.
The question is framed: if you bought this and it included a Steam or Switch code over the digital only price, what would you pay? It's a weird question. What additional amount over the digital only price above do you recommend it cost for the limited collector's edition if it included the download? So yeah,
I mean, for these games, nothing.
Honestly, you didn't miss much. They missed the bar on that game. I know, but I really wanted to play it because like I played the first level and it looked interesting, and I think enough time had passed that all the DLC was out, any patches were out, and I just really wanted to play it because I wanted to know what the hell was going on. Play the Guardians. Yes, I have played that game. That game is phenomenal. I love that game. I love that game. Avengers is in my PlayStation library, but I don't know if you can play it on my account. If not, what a shame. No, you can't. No, you I think maybe you can game share, but that's about it. Okay.
So $199. Like I wouldn't ever want a physical collector's edition of this.
So there's an other. I can type in this has no value to me.
Yes, that's exactly it.
Okay.
Basically, I would not buy collector's edition.
I do not feel my space bar is broken, of course. I do
it worked, I mean,
If it works.
if it worked,
Okay.
only types of games that really make sense for them to focus so heavily on multiplayer for. There's no reason for them to focus on multiplayer for Finnegan Fox or Rigid Force Redux or any of that other shit. They're all perfectly fine single player games, and if they wanted games for families, they shouldn't have tried to fucking shoehorn multiplayer modes into games that don't need them. They should have focused on making different multiplayer games.
That's true. That's true. If you're gonna make a family console, you make like a like the We Play Sports and stuff like that in order to get those family games, you know?
Yeah, or I mean, you can have. I did have. I was trying to think of games that were like, hey, just a 4-year-old and 5-year-old can play those, but those end up being like the Sesame Street free web browser games,
right?
You know, so like there was nothing. Or the Care Bears cart game that I downloaded on the phone to see what the hell this is. And it's like, it's like barely. You can barely even call it a game.
Yeah, right.
Like it's barely. I mean, barely a game.
I bet you, Tommy. I bet you no one played it. They just looked at it and made a call. Hey,
Care Bears.
Care Bears. Okay.
Care Bears. 80s nostalgia.
Yeah.
All right, Ian. Well, that was some good market research. It's been submitted.
Good.
I think from this great market research, they'll be able to price their games appropriately, even though they're already priced, and present it in a meeting for future funding partners for options that are available. Funding options.
You are never going to get anyone to pay for these. They're just not going to.
You're never going to get someone to fund the console or controller. That's not happening.
So that was Pat and Ian. That was the new Intellivision news. Basically, they still don't know what they're doing. Console's never coming out, just like a lot of these Power Ranger projects are never coming out. Television's never coming out. And tell me what you think in the comment section. I hope you learned something cool, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace. Okay. All right, guys. We reached the chill portion of the stream. I'll put the link up if anybody wants to come up. Give me 1 second. Tell me what you guys think, honestly. Like, if you guys want me to go over the Intellivision, you thought this was like, this was interesting, I'll cover it. It's enough of a rabbit hole that, you know, I think you need a new closing line. I'll work on it, man. I'll work on it. Everything is newish, you know. I'm still new at this, and you know, we're getting there. We're getting there. So everyone, at the top of the link is Pat and Ian's channel. Go ahead and give them a follow and click the link if you guys want to come up. There we go. And we'll just chill at this point. At this point, it's just a chill session. Oh, actually, there is one more thing that I wanted to showcase because I thought it was interesting and we can make a whole clip out of it. Give me 1 second. Because it's Star Wars related and Disney related, so I thought it was cool. 1 second. Let me try to find it. Like I said, you guys can click the link if you guys want to. Oh, what's up, Daniel? Give me a second, Daniel. Let me see if I can find that clip that I'm referring to. Because I really want to make it a thing. Okay, here we go. Let's send it to myself. Instagram. God damn it. Let me screenshot and let me send it to myself, and we will make a post out of it. We might as well make this a clip. Here we go. Hold on, guys. I will let you guys up. I'm sorry about that. I just realized that I wanted to cover something else. So it's a quick one. It's a quick one. Waldo, you might want to stick around for this one because we're going to be talking about the news out of Disneyland. So give me 1 second. Okay, let's save the image as, and then we're going to share the screen. Oh no, we're gonna share image, share image. So this is gonna be cool. At least I think it's cool. It's cool Star Wars news. Okay, cool. So welcome to the Juicebox Poppy Show. We are going over some news out of the comic book world that Galaxy's Edge is going to be having a new comic book. So for those not aware, Disney is going to be changing the lore of Galaxy's Edge. So they're going to be including characters from the original trilogy. So beforehand, and I know because I have a lot of cast member friends, and I've seen the Bible for Galaxy's Edge. And so when the land first opened up, the story is that it was a planet on the outer rim that that was so far out that everything out of Star Wars was basically a legend. And the only timeline that they were going to acknowledge was the new timeline. So Rey, Kylo Ren, the First Order, all of this stuff, that was the original intent for the land. If you were going to ask them about Luke, Han, Leia, like the workers were supposed to like tell you, I don't know about that. They are legends. Like I've heard about that, but I'm not sure about that. So that was the whole what was going on with Galaxy's Edge. So they took that really strict. So if you mentioned Luke Skywalker, you mentioned Han Solo, they were just like, "Oh, I heard about them, but like I'm not sure." So now they are changing it to include characters from the original trilogy. And so people are asking, "Oh, what are going to be the details of it?" So we now have something out of comic book news that basically tells people, "Oh, this is what's going to happen." So Galaxy's Edge Echoes of the Empire #1 of 5. So it's going to be a limited edition 5-issue comic book series, and basically the story of it is let me see if I can Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia, and Chewbacca head to Batuu to search of sorry, on my computer it's a little bit search of sorry, 1 second. Search of important relics and that could change the course of the Empire. Basically, they're finding stuff on the Empire to battle the Empire on Batuu. That is why Luke is there. He's looking for Jedi artifacts. And that was the story too for why he was in Batuu for that limited amount of time when they tested Luke Skywalker. So this is what's going to be happening. They're going to have a 5-issue series on the why it was in Batuu. I'm sure Disney's going to have some sort of variants issue covers. It's going to be It's gonna be interesting. I'll pick it up. I want to see what's going on, but I don't hold my breath of anything good because I'm kind of over having my hopes up for Star Wars and it flopping. But I am happy to be happily happily surprised. So let me know what you think. I think this was notable news. I think that it's gonna be interesting to see, and you know I'm really hoping that we return to good Star Wars now that Kathleen Kennedy is gone. Like, that's what I'm really hoping for, because we need good Star Wars. All right, well, you guys let me know what you think in the comment section. I will see you in the next one. Okay. All right, let's get people up.
Okay. Hey, Angel.
Hey, what's up, my man?
Was a little worried because I didn't see you for a few weeks, and I was like, hopefully
I
he
got
didn't.
I know, man. I honestly I needed the time off, and my doctor's clearing me for a lot more physical therapy and stuff like that. So
Mhm.
I was just like, you know what, better let's just dive right into it. Like, let's not wait until next week, do all this
Mhm.
stuff. I was just like, let's just dive right into the pool.
Yeah, yeah, I totally get that.
I got you, man. But how have you been, man? I like that cosplay that you had, man.
Yeah, dude, it was so awesome. It cost a nice little penny, but it is definitely worth it. I mean, it's when you get a costume as a little kid and you just want to wear it to bed and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah.
I was so tempted to want to wear it, to bed.
That's how I feel.
The first
Honestly,
day I got it.
that's how I feel with my spider cosplays. Whenever like my spider suit or anything came in, I was just like, I want to be Spider-Man all the time.
I don't know if it's the chat or something, but I can barely hear you, not gonna lie.
Oh, okay. Chat, if you guys are having issues hearing me, let me know. One, in the chat if you can hear me fine. Two, if you're having trouble hearing me. Hold on one second. Let me get one guy up because he's here, but let me see
Mhm.
if he's having issues too. Hey, what's up, Sean?
Hey, I can hear you perfectly.
Oh, okay, cool. So, Daniel, if you want, I'll kick you, but click the link and then we'll continue it, okay?
I am in the link. That's the weird thing.
No. I'm gonna kick you out. Check your stuff because he can hear me. That's the thing.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I normally do it like this, where I'm literally on my phone, and for some reason this time I can barely hear you.
Can you hear Sean? Sean, say something.
Yeah, I can hear him perfect. Can you hear me perfectly, Daniel?
No, that's the thing. I don't know.
Okay.
Let me get out and get back
I'm gonna
in right
kick you,
quick.
and then I'll bring you back up.
Try to restart your phone. If you can hear me, try to restart your phone and turn it off and back on, and it might work.
Okay, what's up, Sean?
So I'm glad to see you back. Like I was like, man, he hasn't done nothing for almost a month. I'm like, man, it must be handling stuff with his health. He must be taking care of stuff. So I'm glad when you told me that you was handling stuff on your health. I'm glad you got all that taken care of. So I'm glad to see you back here.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna be doing my streams again. I'm gonna be doing it on the weekly, putting out clips and all that. And I really want to get back into it. This is something that I like. I have a small audience and a dedicated audience, and I really want to do it. And I think I have interesting stuff. What did you guys think about the whole Amico stuff?
Hold
I
on one second. Let me go get a Bluetooth device real quick.
I
Yeah.
think I think to be honest, the whole Amico stuff, like order to make it a family console, you're gonna have to take an inspiration from like the Nintendo, from like the Wii, and like get these games that are gonna pull families in. Like you can't just go off of something that looks like real, like not really good, like artificial. Like you have to get something, you have to get sponsors, like the whole remote thing. Like I was telling you, I'm like, all you really got to do is, like if you want something on your phone, is you can pair a PS 4 or Xbox controller and play it on your thing. So it's like the controllers cost a lot. I know you're aware of that. And so, especially when it came to the Wii U, which was a total flop on Nintendo's part, but um, that's that was their that was basically their idea to bring the Switch to fruition. So it's like there was certain steps, but like Waldo was saying about like the WWE game. So this year they have 4 different covers.
Okay.
So they got a CM Punk cover, which is a standard cover. They have um the middle cover, which is the King of Kings cover, which is Triple H. They have for the third cover is what is it? The Attitude Era cover, and then they have the fourth cover is Monday Night Wars cover with both WCW and that. But all the games I've beat in like 3 days, 4 days. So I would like to see WWE have it to where if you're gonna do like a different kind, you're gonna put like content in there for more of a story. Other than that, you're just selling wrestlers at this point, and then the price just goes up and up. At this point, you're just selling wrestlers for like the first cover is about the standard cover is 69, which is 72 with tax. The other one's 100 plus tax, which is
I'm
120.
gonna look it up. I'm gonna look it up on GameStop. I really want to know what you're talking about. That's why I'm talking. Let's see. Hold on. I'm gonna put it on GameStop.com.
Okay.
Okay, I figured out what the problem was
Okay.
with it.
Okay. Let's see. WWE 2K26.
You have 2K26.
Okay. Let's see. Because I really want to know what you're talking about, so I can see.
Now, if they do different story modes, different content to add with it, it would be fine to buy the game. But if you're just buying content, it's kind of like you're gonna get the same content for every copy. Just you're just buying extra stuff. Is all it really is.
I mean, that's
Okay.
literally all 2K games are. It's basically the same game except an updated roster and not really any new added features.
Okay, so there's this one, Sean, WWE 2K26. I'm assuming this is the regular edition.
So the regular edition is the one with CM Punk on the cover.
Okay.
The one next to it, the second one,
Probably
is the
gonna
King
go.
of Kings. If you scroll down,
Yeah.
Was it?
This one?
so the one with the green cover is the Triple H cover.
Okay.
The third one is if you go up. The third
Yeah.
cover, if you go up to it's the one with the Attitude Era. It says.
Yeah.
It's all- and then the fourth cover is the Monday Night Wars cover, which those are the different prices they have for it.
Okay.
So at this point, all of those games, all they're doing, you're getting the same content for like a showcase mode for all of the games across the board. And then after that, it's just content being sold. It's a different cover, content being sold, in-game stuff. That's all it really is. At this point, it feels like you're getting basically robbed of content. Like WWE, step your game up, put more content to where it is. So that way that when someone's buying something, you just ain't buying the same game. You could buy the Punk version, the standard one,
Yeah.
and get the same stuff you would with the other, just minus the content. Just
So
minus some of the content.
basically, it's just the players right now that you're buying. Like all the other editions, it's just more players.
Yeah, it's just more players, like different arenas. There's probably titles to unlock. I would imagine like a points boost for your created superstar, like stuff like that is what you're getting with it. Like
Okay.
it's not nothing special.
See, if I was gonna charge $150 for this edition, I would have a Monday Night War skin that you can only get on this.
Yeah.
Or a player, or like an outfit that you can only get in this, and then you can't get it anywhere else. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you could buy the like the CM Punk version, which is a standard edition, because he's the cover for this year. You could buy that, and then later on buy each pieces of the content later, because they sell each bundle by bundle.
Mhm.
So like last year, Bray Wyatt was was an add-on bundle, and you didn't get no story mode or nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You just basically just got Bray Wyatt, in which Bray Wyatt's cool. He's awesome, but come on, you could have gave Bray Wyatt like showcase thing. You could have done something for him instead of just putting him in the game and you using him in the game. But
Okay.
there's
Yeah, because
also
I was gonna say because yeah.
but there's
Go ahead,
also
go ahead.
community creations for all these WWE games. So let's say you don't want to spend all that money for the content, you could just go to the community creations, and there's people across the world that are making these players that look damn close to the content, and you can just download them for free to the content to your console, and you don't have to spend no more money. So that's a way to do it too as well.
Okay. Yeah, because what I was gonna say is I don't know if you guys remember when God of War 3 first came out in 2010.
Yeah.
Okay, so what they did was they had skins, and those skins had powers that you could only get certain ways, and that you could only get in specific ways. So you could only get one of them through a Monster Energy drink. One of them you could only get at 7-Eleven. Only one of and you could not buy them. Like if you wanted the Phantom of Chaos one, you had to pre-order it from GameStop. If you wanted the let me see, the Dominus skin, and that's why people bought the Ultimate Edition, was for the Dominus skin, because it basically overpowered you to God mode, and you had to buy the Ultimate Edition for that. If you wanted the Deimos skin from Ghost of Sparta, his brother's skin, you had to buy it. You had to buy the PSP game. Uh, or you had to get it in the first week of its release. So for all the yeah, I mean it was crazy. So something like that I would do with these limited edition things to make it profitable and be like, "Oh, I want to do stuff like that."
Last year they had the for the Wrestling 2K25 they had the NWO edition, and they had a Bray Wyatt edition, but you didn't really get nothing except just wrestlers like the NWO or whatever, like Eric Bischoff and Hogan and them. You only got, it never really gave you anything extra. It gave you the wrestlers and the themes and all that, but I mean that's cool. But what for about a day, a couple days, then you're like, it's just another part of the game.
But you are right though. Like a lot of people do play WWE for the story mode.
Yeah.
And that's different from like say Call of Duty and stuff like that, because Call of Duty people barely play the story mode unless they want to get trophies and achievements, and versus WWE, like their fan base really loves the character creation, and they really love the whole first player aspect of it.
I hate to say it, but all Call of Duty is, and I'm sorry if I hurt people's feelings out there, but all Call of Duty is a game for you to level up, for you to buy skins, and it's recycle, it's rinse and reuse. It is the same stuff over and over. Like you do have a campaign, but once that's over, I don't really enjoy doing that stuff. Like my friends do, but I don't enjoy doing that because it's like, what am I profiting? I would like a story mode to it.
Yeah.
It would be
Well,
more
I mean,
fun.
that logic can also be applied to all the 2K line of games like WWE and NBA and FIFA. All of those 2K games also apply under that same umbrella of it's just the same game except with an updated roster.
I
It's
would
not-
have more fun, honestly, if I was playing the Pokemon games for the Switch 2 or the
Oh my
Switch.
god. No, let's not talk about Pokemon. Pokemon, I've lost faith in Pokemon. Pokemon is, I'm sorry to say, Pokemon is not enjoyable for me anymore. It's just they're doing the bare minimum, and people are okay with it because it's Pokemon. Like I played Digimon, the newest one, and I was just like, bro, this is so polished and so good. The only thing missing from it is multiplayer. But I'm okay with it not having multiplayer if it comes in the future, because I want first player games like this. This is what Pokemon should be.
I mean, I feel like the same thing that you're saying about Pokemon can be applied to a lot of things, including Power Rangers, where it's literally like they were feeding fans table scraps, and the same recycled thing with Mighty Morphin, and people are just conditioned to this point to just accept what little they can take because, oh, at least they care enough to make something new, as opposed to, no, this is crap. We don't like it. We didn't ask for it. Do
To be
better.
honest, I mean, it could have done a lot though, you guys, with the Power Ranger stuff. There's 30 years of Power Rangers. It doesn't boil down to 1 or 2 years or one season or whatever. There's what 30 years of Power Rangers. Like they could have done a lot more besides just Mighty Morphin.
And the problem with the whole Mighty Morphin debate of, oh, it's the first, okay, that could have been said for Jetman, because Jetman could have potentially been the first, or even Bioman could have been the first. So for people to say Mighty Morphin, oh, that's the original, okay, just because it's the original, just because it happened to be the first, does not mean it necessarily is still good.
Dude, and then I don't really care, like the whole debacle about like a woman Red Ranger. I don't care. Write it good. I just want a good written story.
It's almost
I
like
wanna-
if somebody in this chat wrote a good written story.
Right, yeah, exactly. Your story is good. Like I can't wait to fully read the whole thing and give my honest thoughts. But I've read his book, guys, the first few chapters, and it's really good. He does really good character development. Where I'm letting him know like, oh, what I think, like to polish it up and things like that. But from what I've read, I really enjoy it. Like his characters are really well developed. Like their original characters, their legacy characters, and he does it in a way to shoehorn in the old stuff but still make it new. And I'm really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying it, Daniel.
Yeah, and with your regards to the whole female Red Ranger thing, the funny thing is, ironically, like back when SBD first happened, everyone was like blowing everyone was blowing their tops of like, oh my god, a female Red, like they were excited. Same thing with Lauren, and then all of a sudden, because Peyton Elizabeth Lee is rumored to be cast as the Red Ranger for this production, everyone's like, oh no, we don't want that. It's like, boy, we've been doing this all the way back since 2005.
Yeah,
But, like,
I mean,
there's a
we've been-
nuance to this discussion. I think Kathleen Kennedy has done so much damage to the entertainment industry as a whole. Have you seen the South Park episode, Into the Pandaverse?
Yeah, and I
Yes.
don't know if you guys have seen her work. I
love Peyton Elizabeth Lee. I loved her in Andy Mac. I watched
Yeah,
that.
I'm sure she's an
Peyton
excellent-
Elizabeth Lee.
Yeah, she's a good actress. I'm not saying anything about like bad about her. Like I really enjoyed her in Andy Mac. She was the older sister that turned out to be the mom, right?
Who? Peyton Elizabeth Lee? No, Peyton Elizabeth Lee was the titular character.
Oh, she was Andy Mac?
She was the Andy Mac, yep.
So was she the one that played in the Karate Kid Legends, or was that a different actress?
I don't think so. No, she wasn't in it.
So I was gonna say they obviously dropped the ball, because if you go watch the interview, we were supposed to, for the 2007 movie, 17 movie, we were supposed to get 6 movies. The actor said, Blue Ranger actor said. So I wonder how it would have turned out.
Hindsight is 2020. People can say a lot of things years later. So I mean, I'm not saying it's not true, but I'm just saying like, why? I mean, sure, NDA agreements exist, but at the same time, why all of a sudden is this coming out when it could have come out when the NDA expired?
We were supposed to get Tommy next, but they just dropped the ball on it.
I think the movie didn't perform to expectations. I think they
Because
lost
they
money.
didn't
I don't know.
Because they didn't make it for fans.
Nope, it wasn't made for fans. They was trying to appeal to the summer blockbuster audience by being like, oh, it's like every other movie. Yeah, it's Power Rangers, but this is for everyone, not just the fans, even though they were trying to, be cheeky and give a little wink to the fans by having cameos from the original cast, like for like 5 seconds in the movie, and then a teether for Tommy at the very end.
I did like the movie. It wasn't bad, and I did like the suits. I thought the suits were different. So I mean, I thought they were different in a good way, not a bad way. Like I was saying on somebody else's platform, about Power Rangers. I was talking to them, and I'm like, you have to put the 2017 movie against the first episode of Mighty Morphin Day of the Dumpster. And they kind of was trying to be as close as to that as possible without making it be the same thing, to make it be something different, to appeal to a new broader audience. To other than that, to still keep the same audience but appeal to a new audience to bring them in. And that's how you kind of have to look at it.
We
Well,
can look at it.
it looks like it just got it looks like they tried to do a redesign of the, what is it, 95 movie? No, 95 is, wait, is it the 90s,
Yeah, it was
1995
yeah, it was the
Mighty Morphin
original.
Power Rangers movie where they did the armor plating. They basically did that, but like more modernized and slimmed down.
They made them look like Iron Man armors. Okay,
Yeah.
we'll look at the clip. We'll look at the clip. Hold on one sec. Waldo said we should look at the clip. I'll put the clip on. Why not? Fair use.
Fair use.
I read online there were supposed to be 6 films,
Yeah. And then Tommy was supposed to come in the second one.
and he was going to be the Green Ranger.
Yeah, because I remember that post-credit scene where they had the jacket with the dragon on the back.
Yeah. But it was such a it was definitely a Power Rangers world. Like, you know how the Avengers have their world.
Yeah, the cinematic universe of Power Rangers.
Yeah, exactly. That's what they were going for.
So there were concepts of it and like groundwork for what was going to happen.
Yeah. And Dean would have been.
I would love to see those concepts. I'm not gonna lie, I would love to see what they would have thought, because obviously the second movie would have been Tommy. The third movie probably the White Ranger, and then probably Zeo for the fourth movie. And I would have liked to see what they would have come up with.
The next James Gunn, because he's really, I feel like he's the only other director that gets the universe, and kind of how to speak it. Even being directed by
Waldo says Tommy was supposed to be. That's the thing. It was only a rumor. It like people really were pushing for Tommy with the I to shoehorn Jenna at the time because JDF was so involved with it. That's my theory on it. I don't have proof for it, but just I remember back then they were really pushing for Jenna to join the Power Ranger franchise, and potentially she could have been Tommy with an I, if I remember correctly.
Dean, he gives the energy. It's like when he is watching you, he's with you, he's acting with you, so he can, give you the energy, and you'll feel it from behind you and be like, okay, I'm not going hard enough. I need to. Can I get one more? And yeah, that type of like cinema was gonna really, really flip the Ranger.
That I will say, I really did like their acting. Their acting was good in that movie. Like, I want to say the things I disliked about it were the Power Ranger parts of the Power Ranger movie.
Like, they were gonna get everything that they asked for. It's crazy.
How come it didn't happen? Because the movie was successful.
I don't even know, because I'm not in like the production.
Was it? We're gonna have to look at the numbers, because I don't think it was right, Brent. Like, it didn't make its money back or something like that, if I remember correctly. We'll look at the numbers right now.
Side I was, so then I could kind of pinpoint and or change these things. But I know for sure all of us, we really did get busy afterward. Nene is right now on tour with her music. Of course, Dacre is Mr. Stranger Things, you feel me, Mr. Heartthrob. And then Ludi, come on, I can't wait for Mortal Kombat 2.
This technology.
I mean, yeah, they all did go on to do big things, but let's look at what they made, because I'm pretty sure they didn't make their money back.
If they did, Saban would have continued, but it flopped.
I heard they lost money on the film.
Yeah.
I heard they spent the budget
And
for
James
promotion on
Gunn, I
Dunkin'
don't
Donuts.
know when that interview was, but James Gunn, the Superman movie lost money. Even though it made a lot of money, it
I
lost
think
money.
it broke even. I'm pretty sure it broke even. Let's see.
Is that really a success though? I don't know.
No,
Considering like Aquaman was made $1 billion.
So remember that now the box office is different. So now they're going off of streaming and they're going off of secondary market. And remember that people were iffy about this movie, and people are loving the movie now to the point that they are excited to see the future projects, especially Batman. So yeah, it's it's not great, but it in other ways it did. Okay, so the budget for Power Rangers was 105 million and box office was only 142.5. So basically it broke even. It broke even.
No, but marketing. You have to
Well,
factor in marketing.
that's what I mean. It broke even. It broke even. Pretty much it broke even.
But marketing is not is that part of the budget? Because usually it's not.
No, it's not. But I mean, they didn't have a huge marketing push for this thing. Here we go.
And then they usually take, if correct me, but they usually take half of ticket sales. It's not, they don't take the whole thing.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a gross
studio
profit projection.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. It basically broke even. Yeah, it pretty much broke even, this thing. Let's see. Hold on. Superman, since we're talking about Superman. Superman 2025.
I mean,
oh no!
I don't...
Oh no! 225 million, and they box office 616. And then remember, there's toy sales, there's media sales. There, it made money. This thing made money.
So my question, Juice, what was the toy sale for the Power Ranger movie though? I mean, couldn't that dictate a little bit of money towards it too?
Yeah, but
I think that's the weird thing is that because it was trying to be marketed towards more of a mainstream, like young adult audience, that it was kind of weird to figure out how to market this more gritty, gray toned movie to kids per se. Like
yeah, that was a big thing because like it wasn't really made for kids. Like I don't know if you guys remember the toys. The toys sucked. I'm gonna pull up the Megazord. The Megazord was horrendous. Hold on.
It was huge though. That Megazord was.
It was huge, but it wasn't fluid to make the toy. Like it was like if you look at the Dino Megazord, you see where each of the components is. For this thing, you were just like, what the hell? Like where are all the parts? Let me see.
So my question to you though, Juice, is the Megazord from the Reignition better than the Megazord from the 2017 movie?
I haven't seen it. I haven't had a
Reignition
chance.
is just a rehash of Mighty Morphin. It looks like I've seen some of the pictures.
Yeah, they just dusted off the old.
It's just a rehash of the.
Like, all right, let's make another batch.
It's made a little bit cheaper though.
Yeah, like if you look at this thing, like here's the pterodactyl, but like where's the rest of the pterodactyl? Here's the mammoth. Here's part of the mammoth. Here's the blue one. The tiger Zord. Like you can't really see the tiger anymore. You can't even see the Tyrannosaurus anymore. Like it was not enjoyable to pick this thing up.
Right, they went way too corporate mainstream commercial and not enough consideration of outside factors such as toys. Like that, at the end of the day, tokusatsu shows were kind of like an ad to sell toys.
And here's a screenshot of the movie. Like it looks like a transformer. Like you know how like in the Michael Bay movie, the transformer transforms and you can't tell what part of the car is part of the transformer. Like that loses the magic. You can't tell me you look at this thing and you're like, oh, I see the because I see the concept art right here. the concept right here. You can see a little bit of the colors. You cannot see the colors in this thing anymore. You can't tell me you can look at this thing and see, oh, this is the mammoth. This is the saber-tooth tiger. This is that. You can't tell what it is.
It looks like
Yeah,
a
and
Timu.
unfortunately,
It looks like a Timu version of Optimus Prime.
It does. It
and
looks
un-
like Optimus Prime.
unfortunately, we have to credit that to the zeitgeist of the late 2010s, where we were trying to be more minimalist and more like edgy and just muted color palette, versus now where we kind of came back to a more saturated color tone. But back then we were trying to be more serious, more gritty, trying to rehash things to be for adults.
Plus, the thing that I didn't get was like in the show, you guys, if I'm not mistaken, they all sit in a cockpit next to each other, and they're all in their own Zord, like in the Armanet. So it's like each ranger has to move with the Zord. Like I thought it would have been harder to control if like the Blue Ranger had to move the arm, instead of sitting in the cockpit moving like certain buttons to move like the arms and legs and stuff like that.
True, but at the same time, this isn't the first time where that type of concept or separate cockpits in a Megazord was a thing in Power Rangers. I mean, the one off the top of my head.
I'm gonna admit I kind of do like when they're all in their little cockpits. Like that's the one thing of the toy I did like, that you could put the Rangers in their cockpits.
Yeah,
But
because this isn't a new concept. I mean, they've done it in other seasons, like Ninja Storm is an example off my head where they were in separate cockpits in the Megazord.
Yeah, see, like right there, you could put the Blue Ranger in his little cockpit right there.
Mhm.
The Black Ranger in his little cockpit right there. The Red Ranger like in his cockpit or something like that. And then that's the thing. It's like, are you gonna put the Yellow Ranger in the crotch? Come on now.
But that's the thing too. It's like I get what you're trying to say with why weren't they in a central cockpit, which it does make sense from like a movie practicality standpoint. But I'm guessing because they wanted to do like to work with scheduling, green screen and individual shots were a lot more practical as opposed to getting everyone together and then shooting a cockpit scene with everybody.
That's true.
But come on, this thing was for kids. You ain't gonna expect the kids to put the Yellow Ranger in the crotch. Come on, that's not that's not for the kids.
Well, this movie wasn't really for the kids. Again,
yeah.
it was for the people who grew up and now they want an adult version of Power Rangers.
Which is why adult versus Power Rangers don't fucking work.
It can work. It's just nobody knows how to write it correctly.
I
sell the toys.
I liked the movie, but I didn't like the way they made Goldar too. I didn't like the way he looked like melted cheese.
Oh yeah. Let's see. Goldar 2017.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I remember Goldar.
It makes you want to go have some nachos.
And then, like the toy, even he had a cockpit for Rita.
Only thing I hear when I say Goldar is that song Nacho Nacho Man.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm just like, this movie could have been great if they had just listened to fans and done it for kids. Like if they would have sold gangbusters on toys, they would have made more on the back end, and they would have made those other movies. If anything, they would have made them in 2017. They would have made them like Netflix exclusive movies, if anything.
But I mean, the problem with that is also that the fan base is either you're part of that loud minority that doesn't really have good, doesn't really listen to outside opinions and isn't open-minded, or you have the rest of the fan base, which is divided in its favorite seasons and eras and everything. So even if they did collect, surveys and took those into consideration, they would be left with.
They would be skewed all over the place.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's the big caveat with, oh, this should be for the fans. But then you also have, so you have the young fans from Nickelodeon. Okay, now you have the fans from the Disney era. Now you have the fans from post Zordon. Zordon era. It's like it's all over the place. So some fans would be like,
You're
"Oh,
never gonna make everyone happy."
Exactly.
That's the whole point of the whole Disney thing. Is like, I don't care if the Red Ranger is a girl. Write her good. That's all I want. I just want her. I want her written decently. I want her to matter. I want, if she's gonna be a girl, I want her story to matter. Like, why is it important that you're a girl? Like, if like, I just want a well written story. What about you, Brett? Like, I'm interested.
Kathleen Kennedy. I have to bring her up because she is absolutely relevant. She has started. She has destroyed Star Wars.
I brought her up previously.
Yes.
I don't know how much you heard. Like how much of the stream you heard.
I don't need to hear enough. She's a disgrace. She is a dangerous precedent when it comes to a woke a social agenda. The Star Wars sequel trilogy, if there was no agenda, if there was no original trilogy, those movies would be considered okay, decently written, quote unquote stories. But the problem is she tried to push the agenda too much. You see this with the second sequel trilogy movie where Laura Dern with her purple hair had her girl power moment and used a ship to put on hyperdrive to destroy a ship. This is inconsistent with the original trilogy, because if that was able to be done in the original trilogy, it would ruin the story. And there has to be an explanation as to.
Well, with that, I will say the reason they didn't do that in the original trilogy was because the rebels were so little that just doing that would have decimated a good portion of them, and they would have lost a Star Destroyer. I will say that.
Right, and then with Carrie Fisher and the Mary Poppins moment, and then you see there's so many moments in that movie.
That I will say, that was bullshit. That was so stupid that she was out in space and she lived.
Girl power, and then they kill off the original trilogy. That's not what the fans wanted, but a good written story. She's been pushing it, and she's very blatant about it. The Force is female. You see this when the directors push an agenda, it harms the movie. The Acolyte, the director did interviews saying that this is the gayest Star Wars. I mean, what are we doing here? It got so bad that South Park made a show called Into the Pandaverse, mocking Kathleen Kennedy for her nonsense.
A parody?
The parody.
I mean, it wasn't the only franchise to have pandered. I mean, there was also Ghostbusters. Let's not forget the gender swap Ghostbusters.
Little Mermaid, Snow White. This was hinted at in some of the like in Aladdin. They made Jasmine. She wanted to be a sultan.
Hold on. I do want to tell everybody, because I know there's going to be people watching going, "Oh, Brent is talking trash. Brent is saying this." Technically, Brent is correct. Hold on. I'm defending you, Brent.
I'm just reading
Brent
this.
is correct. Yeah, it's saying the Acolyte creator jokes about making the gayest Star Wars series. So let's see. In the viral clip, let's see. They've called our show the Wokalite a fan amount, which I'm like, okay, what about it? Stenberg said there's also, oh god damn it. Sorry, that was on my end. I got a pop up. There's also a significant sect of Black creators and Black Star Wars fans on TikTok who are being vocal about the pushback that we received, and those folks make me so deeply happy. And those are the folks that I'm also grateful to. I'm trying to find where she says the gayest Star Wars. I don't know. I'm gonna have to find the clip and say it. But basically, Brent is correct. Yeah, she jokes about being the gayest Star Wars.
No, this is a problem. And then
just throwing that out there because I know people are gonna be like, "Oh, Brent's talking shit. Brent's talking shit." It's like, no.
Well, it's nothing new. I'm used to it by now. But anyway,
Like low key, if I can just say something low key, like seriously, Brent, you need to stop talking over people. Let people finish, dude. 'Cause, like seriously, you're talking over Angel way too much. Like wait your turn.
Okay.
Seriously.
But yeah, Brent is correct. There is there was a joke where she said it was the gayest Star Wars. But go ahead, Brent, and talk about Catholic.
I didn't see you talking. I didn't see you talking over Juice Box, but that's just my opinion.
This is the chill part of the stream. I don't care. Like if it had been the original part, like I would have taken offense. But this is the chill part. This is like the barbershop part where I'm just like this is where we can talk
Like
shop.
I ain't trying to start no dang fights, but at the same time, it's like
No,
when
I get you.
like when Angel's talking, Brent, you're like starting to prepare your rebuttal, and then it's like, dude, just let him finish. You're not even listening at that point. You're just rebuttaling. Just let him finish.
I understand what you're saying. I'm just that's how you're supposed to be, though. You're supposed to be getting your rebuttal ready for afterwards. Like,
But
there's
then that
nothing wrong.
means
There's
you're
nothing.
not listening. That's the problem. It means you're not listening. You're just thinking about what you're gonna say back so you can get the last word in. That's
No,
the issue.
I don't think my opinion. I'm not trying to start nothing, but my opinion is, Brent listens. Brent listens to a lot of stuff. That's one thing about Brent. People can say whatever they wanted to say about Brent, but at least he stands on business. That's what I can say about him, at least respectfully. Me and Brett never we been against each other before, but I've always had a respect for him. Like, and I think he's listening.
I can tell he's listening. Like I can see the
And so-
gears turning when I speak, and then like he says like he makes a valid argument is what I want to say.
So my thing is, I don't see him talking over Angel. I see him just getting his rebuttal ready to talk. It doesn't mean that he's not listening. That's all I'm saying is like, I don't think that he's talking over Angel. At least I didn't. At least I didn't see it, and I've been paying attention.
Okay, let's get back to Kathleen Kennedy. Go ahead, Brent.
So yeah, go ahead.
Okay,
like I
so
said, I
yes.
wasn't trying to start no fight. I wasn't trying to be disrespectful. I'm just like, that's what I'm noticing. Like, dude, relax. This is the chill portion. We're not trying to start no fights or nothing.
No, I get you guys, but let's get back to the Red Ranger thing because I want to hear what Brent has to say about the female Red Ranger.
This is a problem. I think if it's going to be a reboot of Mighty Morphin, I think this is a trend of the social agenda being pushed. The story being good is kind of secondary. Like the Star Wars, if you look at the Rotten Tomatoes reviews for the sequel trilogy, they all have fresh score, or I think 2 or 3 of them have fresh Rotten Tomatoes scores.
For what?
The sequel trilogy, the movies.
Oh, okay. We're talking about Star Wars. Okay.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, just because they have good reviews doesn't mean there's going to be backlash. And I think if she's going to be the Mighty Morphin Tyrannosaurus Red Ranger, the same one as back in '93, then I think they're not going to object publicly because it's not popular. Like I could take the backlash, but a lot of people don't like to go on social media, so they just vote silently. They just won't watch, and you will see that reflected in the.
So, would you be okay if it was the Red Mighty Morphin Power Ranger? If it was the girl from before, or like a new character that has nothing to do with Jason?
If it was like a different, a new like cosmic field, like there's no issue with.
No. If it was Mighty Morphin, but like the next generation or the previous generation, or like a new character, nothing to do with Jason.
If they're not trying to do like a reboot where it's like a day in the dumps, they're
it's not Jason. It's not JC. It's
right.
It's a whole new story. It's just the suit.
It depends how the story plays out. You could tell when you watch a movie whether an agenda is being pushed. Obviously, we keep mentioning
That's what I mean. So they're not trying to push anything. This is honest spiel. I would be totally cool with it as long as the story is good. Like, hey, this is a cool character. I love her. Like, for instance, the Wasp in Marvel. She was the first Avenger, and she is one of the coolest characters. All of the X-Men girls I love to bits because of the characters. It suits them. I knew who they are, why they were written. Everything about them is organic. Like, I don't want this to be Jason. I want this to be the new character.
Right, and they have to focus on the story because a lot of times when you focus on agendas, when you focus on trying to please an audience, I think that's the problem the 2017 movie had. They tried to appeal to an audience. That is pushing an agenda, even though it's not a social justice issue agenda. It is
Like, I don't really care about agenda. Everyone has an agenda. Everyone has an agenda. Every production company has an agenda. But I want it to be good. Like, for instance, Daniel, you watched Andy Mack, right?
Yeah, I watched Andy Mack.
Like, Andy Mack was so good that everyone knew it was an agenda show, but it was written so fucking well. It was like freaking Degrassi. Like, Degrassi, you know what you're getting into with Degrassi. It's going to be after school specials. If you're watching it and thinking, oh, this is going to be woke, you are watching the wrong fucking show. Like, Andy Mack was written to be that way, and Andy Mack was written well. Like, I remember that little boy came out.
Joshua Rush, his character
Joshua Rush's character came out. Everyone saw it coming, but it was written so freaking well. I was just like,
he didn't even have to say he was gay. He just he didn't even say it. It was Sophia Wiley's character that like formed the question, and he just agreed to the question.
He didn't even say yes. He just like nodded.
Yeah, exactly.
I can tell you what I would like to see. I would like to see them, instead of having the characters of Jason and them, I would like to see the characters of Jason and them make a brief appearance in the beginning of the season, but do like name it Mighty Morphin Power Rangers: The Next Generation. So like
they
to
ain't
do
gonna have Austin back. They ain't gonna have Austin back. Not saying problematic that he said, especially Disney.
What I'm saying is to do like the kids, of all of the Rangers, to do like they already got Trini's daughter, to like have all the other Rangers have kids and have them take the morphers on and become the Rangers. Like,
well, that's what I said. Once and Always should have been. It should have been them passing on the legacy. It should
Once
have
and
been
Always should have just been left on the back burner because Once and Always is garbage.
Once and Always is garbage. There's no point in that movie except for Trini's daughter, and they should have, instead of Trini's daughter, they should have had all of the Next Generation, and then Netflix could have made the series. They could have sold the toys.
But even that, I just think that Once and Always was a very distasteful, blatant cash grab. As you say, Brent, it was an agenda for a cash grab for viewership from the fans. It was distasteful of how they killed off Trini's character. She didn't have to basically have an explanation. They could have just said, "Oh, she died of a terminal illness." I don't know, and I'm just brainstorming, spitballing here. They didn't have to, and they tried to make it very melodramatic with like men having to go through the grievance of Trini's death. But it's like they only had like at most 90 minutes to do all of that, and they didn't. They had to shoehorn in the whole Robo Rita nonsense, and it could have just been a limited series. In all honesty, it should have and could have been a limited series of just men going through the grievance of losing her mom, and the Billy and Zach trying to help other Rangers involved with the Bandora Protocol, but then those Rangers ending up captured by Robo Snithered and Robo Minotaur. Every episode could have just been that, but it wasn't the case.
I wasn't gonna come up, but all this talk about Power Rangers, no, I gotta say something. I'm sorry, Daniel, I gotta disagree, my dude.
You can disagree.
Bro, this is the Chillstream. I don't care.
Once and Always wasn't the best. It wasn't the greatest.
It was garbage.
I can't say it was entirely garbage. I can't say. I thought that the cheaping out and putting the Lightning Collection figures into the fucking whatever, having them kidnapped and captured. Garbage. I did think the homage to Twee Trang
They didn't
was
even use
nice.
Lightning Collection.
They were Lightning. I thought they were Lightning Collection.
They weren't Lightning Collection. They were fucking they were the vinyl toys.
Oh yeah. They
Oh
were
yeah, and then that whole freaking capture thing, it made no sense. Why? Because you're gonna tell me that you're gonna take some of the most powerful Rangers like Tommy, who got swatted like a damn fly by Robo Rita, using his green powers, getting captured by Robo Scissored, and then Trent, the white Dino Thunder Ranger, also got captured. Like, are you kidding me? Like, there was no thought put into it. And people are like, oh, they're the strongest Rangers. I beg to differ now because Trent and Tommy got captured. So we can make the argument of they're not the strongest Rangers because they got captured by a monster.
Say what you will about Austin.
Yeah.
Freaking, he had the Gold Ranger powers. Or even Trey.
Aside, okay. On that all aspect, if you're going to talk about the lore of it, sure, I'll agree. I mean, basically, to the homage for Twee Trang and Jason David Frank, I thought it was well done.
I think it was distasteful.
I didn't like it. They could
it
have done
was
it better.
distasteful.
I think they was trying to.
Okay, then how would you have done it? How would you have paid the proper respect to Twee while, acknowledging the fact that she's no longer here, while at the same time...
Well, let's see. You don't have to have her character involved in it to begin with. You don't have to have
the
her...
OG team. Why not?
Why not? Because she's dead. They're not gonna like the whole Crow thing.
Okay.
You're not gonna bring back Brandon
You don't
to the
need
Crow.
you don't need
It's so
Twee.
disrespectful. Leave the dead resting. Don't freaking bring them into something that they're not part of anymore. That's so distasteful.
Okay, so are you thinking the same thing about the Michael Jackson biopic coming out right away?
Yeah, I think that with the whole Selena
Even
thing,
though
the whole
family's involved.
Yeah, I still think it is. Why? Because they're trying to profit off his legacy.
But it's towards the family. The family is involved in the making of the movie, telling
his story. Well, the family can also ride his coattails.
I mean, maybe we have a different outlook on.
That's
legacy.
fine. We can have a different outlook on it.
Yeah, exactly. So in my aspect, if I passed away, I would want my story told, whether it be through a movie or through music or through some kind of other form, right? That's a benchmark to leave. It was the same with Bob Marley. It's the same with Abraham Lincoln. It's the same with any historical person, right? Whether it's through textbook or through movie. I mean, yeah, profiting off of it, sure. There's lots of gray areas in that, right?
There's a difference between having reverence for the material and the person. There's another thing where you're basically using their character for profit.
Ooh, I like that. So basically, you're saying like, the way they're doing Michael is like they want to tell his story. Like if somebody just wants to tell the story and make a buck, if they make a buck, like I think that's the difference between their family blatantly putting out a product to make the money.
Okay.
Like the Selena biopic was made 2 years after she died. It had nothing to do with her family trying to ride the coattails of the success of Selena Quintanilla. They wanted to tell her story.
And then the Netflix series, they didn't want to make that. They had to make it because Chris was going to make it.
Mm-hmm. Well, okay. So when you talk about leaving the dead alone too, that's actually a great topic to go on too. When you think of like horror biopics or documentaries that talk about victims of these families and stuff like that, that's another instance where, I mean, people make money off of these documentaries. They still get made.
Yeah, they do.
Yes and no. So the families of the killers don't make it. The victims like the victims are still making the money. So I am pro that because that's what's going on. I'm not like, for instance, Chapo, the El Chapo. Mm-hmm. His family is making money on his merchandise. That's why I tell people don't buy that merchandise because his family is profiting off of it.
But like the thing with Once and Always, they were trying to do something to not be distasteful. I mean, I kind of
shouldn't have done anything.
They shouldn't have even touched the idea because one, Twee Trang, may she rest in peace, is no longer with us. Mm-hmm. And then for them to basically at last minute add Jason David Frank to that dedication.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
and use his voice.
Exactly. It was a blatant catch up. This was not, we want to respect Twee Trang. We want to give,
Do you think that?
How do you know it's not that?
Yeah. Like if somebody else would signed off on that instead of just the production team. Like if you would have had someone from Twee's family been like, "Oh, this really means a lot to us," would that give your opinion maybe change? Would that change your opinion a bit?
No, because the same thing could be said about Jason David Frank's son. When the dojo owner of the karate dojo that I go to, he was talking so good about Jason David Frank's son, I had to basically be like, actually, that's not actually the story. He's trying to capitalize on the legacy, but the relationship was tumultuous at best.
So, I mean, it's got to be case specific then, because, okay, yeah, it's one thing if it was Jason's son, but what about his daughter? You know, not Sky, the other one.
Jenna?
Yeah.
Well, I don't think any of them should be profiting off of his name, in my opinion.
No, I didn't mean in that sense. I meant like it just like attaching themselves to it in that regard.
I mean, what I'm getting at is Tommy and Twee shouldn't have been in it at all. Like Trini was already gone from the grid. Like I think they should have just not done her.
Well, okay, but what about the comics? The comics have done it though. The comics have brought Trini back multiple times now.
That's the comics. That's the comics. We're talking about
we're talking about the live action
universe. We're talking about the show. We're not talking about the comics. The comics is its own separate universe. So this is the thing. Yeah. Like I think Jason, it would have been easy enough to be like, Jason is off planet. Jason is on a mission. We can't count on Jason, and that's it. I mean, on Tommy, and that's it. That's all you need.
So in the sense of doing a reboot, do you think that it's viable to bring the Trini character back, or just leave it all together?
No, you can make a new character, or you can use Karen. Like you can use Aisha. Like the Trini character is not needed, if that makes sense.
But if they're going OG Mighty Morphin, you can't have Mighty Morphin without Trini. The Trini character has to be there.
No. That's only if you're doing a reboot of the original characters.
But that's going back to Once and Always. That's what it was supposed to be. Continuity.
Yeah, that's what it's supposed to be,
right? It was continuity, not a reboot.
No, but what we're saying is we didn't need Trini. Like I think the way that they handled it was not the best. Like they could have handled it better.
I agree that they could have handled it better. I don't think it came off as distasteful, though. I think that's where I disagree. I think maybe they tried and just didn't quite hit the bar.
That's what I'm saying. It was a shot in the dark, and they accidentally hit friendly fire.
Yeah.
I thought it was a tribute.
This is what it is. We're all going after Bin Laden. Yeah. Okay, we're all going after Bin Laden, and we're all in the house. It's dark as shit, and I accidentally shot Waldo in the ass. That's what happened.
Yeah, you just
that makes no sense. But
I didn't honestly. Me seeing Once and Always, and this is just my opinion. This is how I seen it. I seen it as them trying to be tasteful as possible without trying to be offensive towards the legacy of
Twee and Jason.
Twee Trang. I thought it was that they were trying to give a legacy as well as to Jason David Frank. I thought it was okay. That it was, at least we didn't get nothing. At least we got something that they tried the best that they could.
Nothing.
I feel the same way. No,
and see, I'm stating my opinion. I understand your opinion. I'm just stating my opinion. I'm thinking they tried to give us something, and that's better than nothing. I mean,
I'm gonna go with Daniel. I would have preferred nothing, but in my opinion, I only want something if there's something on the table. Like there's something in the future. There's new Rangers. There's new episodes. There's new stories.
And I wish we would have got a part 2 to Once and Always at least. That's the thing, is I don't think they didn't have enough time to really do. Even if they had the best interest at heart, there wasn't enough time.
No, it's not enough time. I'll tell you exactly what happened. No, it's not about time. They didn't make the money back. They didn't sell toys. They didn't.
I just mean in the storyline, not all the back end stuff.
Yeah. No, I meant
itself.
Okay,
didn't have enough time.
I'm talking about.
I seen that side eye there.
Okay, my bad. I'm talking with Daniel that I would have preferred nothing over not having any logistics to future Power Rangers, future show. Future episodes, future everything. I'm like, okay, we get one, and you guys didn't perform well, so we get nothing.
And so now, what I say from it is, since they got Trini's daughter, it can open up something else. It can open up a future of something.
Not anymore since it didn't make money.
It's done. Yeah, it's done. But we can say the same thing about the Ninja Kids thing. I would have liked to see it. Now we're not going to get it.
Well,
We'll
because
never
they
get
fucked
it.
up. Well, they fucked
Yeah,
up.
they messed
But-
up. They were using AI, and then they were saying
have
no,
been
we
cool
weren't
to
using
see it.
AI. They burned that bridge.
They got called out. They basically burned the bridge. They didn't burn the bridge. They set it off a nuke, and they nuked the bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what I'm getting at with the whole, I'd rather have gotten nothing. Yes, I guess it was because of the anniversary of Mighty Morphin being like 30 years or whatever, and they wanted to capitalize on that. However, I would have preferred to get. I would have preferred to get nothing simply because the way that the franchise has been handled, like I've said before,
We
they
didn't
put
get
out.
nothing. Sorry, we
They
didn't get
get
anything
out.
for the 25th anniversary. We didn't get shit.
They give us table scraps, and we're just like, oh, thank you for those awful table scraps. It was so awful, but you know what? It's better than nothing. I prefer to starve than to get table scraps. I prefer it to be a quality product. I'm sorry if I'm in the small minority of people who actually hold
I'm with
Power
you on
Rangers
that
to
one.
the upper echelon.
We got food poisoning with that steak.
I'd rather hold it to a high standard and be called a snob than to hold it at a low standard and basically enable them to have it at that low quality.
See, when you say it's better that you starved than to get some food, see that's where it separates you and me and Waldo is we actually are gonna eat something. When you're sitting back and you're gonna just sit there and starve, like I'd rather have something to eat than not to have no food at all.
Okay, but what does that have to do with the argument?
No, you said that you would rather they're giving us table scraps. This is your words, not mine. You said they're giving us table scraps. I'd rather starve than to not have nothing to eat. See, in that case,
And that has
me and Waldo
nothing
would
to
be
do
eating something
with
and
the
you would be
argument
starving.
of I'd rather have nothing from Power Rangers than get a low quality cash grab. Is
See,
what
I feel
I'm
the
getting
same
at.
way because the mega battle to me, I feel the same way that you feel about Once and Always towards the mega battle. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, it's talking about the Mega Force big
We all
battle
know
where they
that.
brought
We all
the
know
10
that.
characters,
Bro,
right?
Legendary.
For what?
Okay,
For
okay,
45 seconds of fighting and screen time.
Because they couldn't do
And-
shit. They
and-
couldn't do shit. There was too much. Like, have you ever seen Gokaiger?
The
Have you
Sentai
seen
the
the
Sentai
original?
footage? Yes. I
The
have.
Sentai footage has too many.
Well, the thing is, it was originally
scenes
deemed
with
the episode.
other Rangers.
Yeah, it was
so
deemed
they
the episode that
couldn't
could
do
never
anything.
happen.
Huh?
Mostly because of Jason David Frank. It was deemed the episode that could never happen. Having one character playing 5 Rangers who are all on screen together.
Well,
Was just
not
impossible.
just Jason David Frank. There's multiple Rangers. The problem with Once and Always was it could never be done because they were never going to put the money into into filming the footage. They
Yeah.
were never going to put the money into getting all of the characters back. They were never going to put the money into digitally recreating all of the scenes with all of the extra Rangers. There are too many Rangers in those scenes to digitally take out. It would have been too expensive.
Even the 10 actors they chose, it was like, okay.
It was the most random group of actors that they chose.
Yeah. Like Carter from Lightspeed Rescue Red is the only one that really made
I'll
sense.
tell you what probably happened. I'm going to tell you exactly what probably happened.
They reached out. They say who they could get for the
they
cheapest
reached
price.
out to whoever could do it. They didn't realize who they reached out to, and then
they
first.
knew.
The first no they didn't the assistants reached out
Because
to
I think I remember Amy Jo going public and saying something like, "Oh yeah, I just didn't like the offer they sent," and I said, "If they sent a better offer, we talk."
They sent an offer to almost everybody, and then when some people said yes, they were like, "Oh shit, we didn't realize that the assistant sent it to you." Yeah, we're taking it back because I think what happened was they didn't expect all of the people to say yes. So they were only like, oh, maybe like 10 people will say yes. And those are the people that got their flights paid for.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's probably what happened.
Yeah, they probably tried to get the people who would take the lowest offer besides Jason and fly them out. Because I think I remember seeing Kevin Duhaney say that he asked to be invited out to film it and they never got back to him.
Yeah. A bunch of people were asked to come back and were like, oh, I'll do it for free. And they were just like, we can't afford to have you on set.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking they invited everyone, thinking nobody was gonna say yes. A whole bunch of people said yes,
Mhm.
and they were just like, "We can afford 10 flights."
So can we all agree that the best crossover was probably Forever Red?
That's no question.
Yeah.
That is no question that that's what it was. So,
Good. I mean, there was a couple other ones. There was that other one too that had like Johnny Young Bosch with his broken morpher. I can't remember where it was.
that's from In Space.
Oh, In Space.
Yeah,
But that
yeah.
wasn't really like a team up. Like the other better team up would be Once a Ranger.
Once a
Ranger, yeah.
Yeah, even though people say Operation Overdrive is bad, but it's not. It's just okay. Operation Overdrive is just okay. It's not a bad season. It's just okay.
100 Dino was a terrible season. That's a bad season.
Which one?
100 Dino season. That was terrible.
Oh, Cosmic Fury, Dino Fury. For me, it's Beast Morphers, but we already know why.
Mystic Force for me is my lowest rated season.
But
Something
we all
about
can
Power Rangers with
collectively
Kate's
agree Ninja Steel is the armpit of the franchise.
I've never seen
Ninja Steel
Actually,
only
never
say
seen
it had that one episode with the freaking Falcon sword. That's it.
No, Dimension and Danger was also not a very good crossover because
it wasn't good, but I mean, at least we got the Falcon sword back.
Technically, Turbo was the armpit of the industry.
No,
Turbo is the whole reason we got In Space.
Yeah. Turbo wasn't horrible. The Turbo movie actually wasn't even that bad.
It's still bad.
Yeah.
That's why JDF left mid-season.
JDF left because he wanted to move on.
Yeah.
He wanted to move on and do other things beyond Power Rangers. It's like when you have vanilla ice cream every day. You get tired of having vanilla ice cream every day.
I don't.
And then he was an actor. He was an actor first and foremost, and he was already typecasted. So that's why he did the adult movies. That's why he did the Showtime stuff, the soft core shit, was because he wanted to break free of the.
I thought that was Steve Cardenas.
No, Jason went on like some Showtime thing. Let me see. Hold on.
I mean, Friends went on for I think 10 seasons.
Yeah,
and they never got sick and tired of each
show. Friends was
I tried to watch
Power Rangers
Turbo.
reference in Friends.
I tried to watch Turbo and I fell asleep. That's how bad Turbo
wasn't bad, except for the fact that the main villain from Turbo was just like a rehashed villain from In Space. Or sorry, vice versa, the other way around.
Are they Divatox?
No, what's his name? Malagor was what's his face in
Dark Spectre.
Dark Spectre, thank you.
Oh, Dark Spectre, yeah.
I fell asleep.
Yeah, here we go.
Turbo,
he was in Sweet Valley High. He was in something called My. Here we go. Here's the show, the Skinamax thing that he was in. It was called Undressed.
Jeez.
JDF?
Yeah.
What?
Let me see if I can find it. JDF.
That's wild.
Yeah, he was.
Y'all remember that rumor a long time ago when everyone's trying to say that ASJ was doing like gay porn and shit like that?
I thought that was I thought that was Steve Cardenas, not ASJ.
No, it was people were saying it was ASJ for a long time. Something
Okay.
about and then they're like, oh yeah, he's in this like military porno, and it's like, no, dude, he was across seas as a military paramedic. People had it so backwards.
It's just like the Dear John letter that was wrote. That Tommy, I got the Dear John letter, and so if you look at the Turbo movie, and who is Kimberly with? She's with Jason. So
yeah, that was a weird one.
So my thing is that who Kimberly cheated on Jason with? Met him, not cheated on him, but is that who she met and basically got her relationship with? No, nobody ever knows. But I think that's who she got with. That's my opinion, because the Turbo was just as close as it. Basically.
Amy Jo could not stand Austin. Okay, here we go.
Forgive the mess. Can't bring myself to get a maid. I was trying to make me feel like a sellout.
Carl, I didn't know you were so idealistic.
Ooh, Dr. O. Being a player.
Just because we're rock and roll doesn't mean I don't have a social conscience.
Told you guys.
This definitely has that like How I Met Your Mother feel to it.
Exactly. He tried to get.
And she's also a Power Ranger.
From it. Yeah, Allison Kipperman. Yeah.
But
I told
I
y'all.
just had a thought about another crossover, and I totally just spaced on it too. Gosh darn it! And it'll probably pop back up at the most random time. Something about a crossover.
Brent, Waldo. Since I got you guys, what do you guys think of that Star Wars thing that I talked about earlier about Galaxy's Edge?
I mean,
Oh,
go ahead, Brent.
oh, you want me to go? Okay, so Kathleen Kennedy is stepping down, quote unquote.
No.
but
I'm not talking about Kathleen Kennedy anymore. I'm talking about Galaxy's Edge, the comic book.
Is that the theme park?
Yeah.
The theme park. Yeah. This is where the fans go. I've heard about this, and they don't acknowledge the original trilogy. Is that true?
Yes, so I will tell you guys because I have friends that are cast members. I've seen the Bible and the handbook that they gave cast members when they were opening the land. They were not supposed when they first opened the land, they weren't supposed to know about the original trilogy. If they asked them about the original trilogy, they said that they are legends. Like you heard about them, but you don't know about them. Like that was the whole thing about the original trilogy, how they were supposed to handle it. Like it was a whole thing. Like they were supposed to be like, you don't know what a bathroom is. Like you're supposed to call it this. And like you don't know what good morning is. You say bright suns. And like it was a whole, like you are supposed to be living in the world of Star Wars. So like now they are going to be introducing the original trilogy because the sequel trilogy made no money, that they are doing this storyline in comic book form of how they're going to handle them being on Batuu.
Wow. Okay, so I've heard about this, so it's actually true. And that was my speculation that when Disney took over, they wanted to undo what was done with the original trilogy. Like they made Boba Fett, the Book of Boba Fett, that TV show. Boba Fett was overshadowed by the Mandalorian, the new Disney character.
No,
he was.
I will say, Mando is way better than Boba. Mando was
Right.
shit.
Right.
Don't take away from Mando. Mando was written so freaking well. Boba was never written well.
Right. But the Book of Boba Fett, when you have a TV show named after you, you're supposed to be the star of the show. And I've spoken to the actor and associated with that TV series, and he was very disappointed with how that was handled. Even one of the Mandalorian characters, Paz Vila or whatever, Tate Fletcher's character, said that my character overshadowed Boba Fett, and I feel bad for
Because
Tamora.
Boba Fett was only written well in the expanded universe. He was never written well in the movies. He was never given storyline. It's kind of like Phasma. Everybody liked her armor. Everybody thought she was cool looking, but she got no story.
Well, then this shouldn't be called the Book of Boba Fett. It should be called. You should just use that money to make another Mandalorian season.
Well, what I'm saying is that they gave Boba his own series without fleshing out Boba. They didn't flesh him out. They didn't give me a reason to watch the series. The Mandalorian, he's a new character. I went in there. I watched the first 3 episodes. I was like, cool. I like the character. I'm going to continue on with it. Boba Fett was an original character. Unfortunately, everything was left in expanded universe that was good, and we were left with a blank slate of nothing, and the show was nothing.
That I think that was by design because they had Boba Fett pushing about water rights. He was campaigning about water rights. They started pushing agendas.
No, okay, I will say that on Tatooine though, that is kind of an important thing because you're on a desert planet, and the moisture farms are kind of important. So that I will give them.
But he's using a jetpack. Why would he worry about environmental? Maybe it's because I've spoken to the people that have worked on that show, and they're like, "Oh my god, this is
Oh,
the
you're thinking it on like a bigger moment of like kind of like why didn't Jango Fett like fly away?
Well, I guess you could say that, but I mean, yeah, the Boba Fett.
Why didn't Mace Windu like do the redirection thing? Like why didn't he jump?
Why didn't they fly the ring to Mordor?
Oh, because I think the Nazgul
started on Lord of the Rings.
The Nazgul had to be killed off because that was a very form. I think they addressed this in the movies.
I don't think so.
The Nazgul was killed by
why did Ant-Man go up his butt and go big?
Yeah.
I mean, the Book of Boba Fett was.
I don't know if you guys saw that, but on the Disney cruise, they actually acknowledged that that plot hole. They were like, "Why didn't you just go up Thanos' butt and get big?" And he's like, first and foremost, ew.
Yeah, why can Jake morph into Green Rangers and Black Rangers?
Well, it's a simple explanation that we don't have a time to explain right now.
Because that's the color coordination. Black is green. It just makes sense for some reason.
That's the joke.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I remember now what I wanted to say about Power Rangers. Why did they feel the need to bring back David Yost's character in Dino Fury and Cosmic Fury? Like literally one of the most wooden actors.
Because he got the contract with Once and Always if he did Once and Always, he had to do the show.
And then also, why would he even want to take Once and Always when he was like denouncing the show for the longest time?
Because he wanted to be a writer. He wanted production.
Like
I think everyone was probably up for the cash grab.
Yeah, he wanted the cash grab, and he also wanted the production. The production credit.
Cash
he wanted
grab,
to write.
Cash grab.
And the ratings went up. The ratings went up because he's an OG. No matter whenever you bring an OG in,
I mean, out of
the
everybody
ratings go
here,
up.
Brent will tell everybody firsthand how he feels.
But I understand how Brent feels. But no matter how much you put an OG in there, if people, I get it how people dislike Austin St. John. I get it how people dislike certain Rangers. I'm not saying that. I'm saying whenever you put like Austin St. John comes back as a Gold Ranger, ratings went up. Austin St. John was in Forever Red, ratings went up. David Yost went in there. He's an OG. Anyone that's an OG that comes back, you could put Kimberly Hart coming back. The ratings are gonna go up. So I think that played a little bit of a part too with him coming back.
See, the thing is that they could have asked back Walter Emmanuel Jones as opposed to David Yost, because David Yost's like acting, you could tell he did not care to bring it. He just wanted the money.
But my question to you, Daniel,
I didn't know you were asking a question.
So no, my question to you is, so how do you think that Walter Jones is better actor than David Yost? Like
he has more charisma. That's easy. That's an easy answer.
He has more charisma. He actually wants to do the show. The show. He talks about it all the time, as opposed to David Yost.
Walter Jones wants to be on the show because he needs a check.
Exactly. He also wants a check. Also, he's gonna bring it. If you're gonna pay him, you're gonna get your money's worth.
Doesn't mind acknowledging
Brett,
that he's a Power Ranger, though.
would you say that that's a good analysis if you pay?
Yeah, because you could do both. You could do both. Want the money and.
No. Fuck Walter. Okay, I paid him and I didn't get my shit.
Oh, that's right. I remember that.
Okay,
David Yost.
Okay, if you want to go about stories about not getting your money's worth, then we'll let's not go down that rabbit hole tonight.
No, we're not going down your route, Brett.
But you Walter.
If he's at Power Morphicon, I will give him a nice, thick, chunky permanent marker, and I'll say, "You owe my friend a signature."
I will fucking do that on Power Morphicon, okay? I will go up
I will be the one to do it. I don't care if you don't like me after, like, hey, you know my friend a signature. He never got it. Now's your chance.
Signature.
In my book, it doesn't matter how much David Yost didn't want to be there. It doesn't matter how much if Walter Jones wanted to be there. In my book, I see Walter Jones and David Yost equally talented. Like they're both OGs. Like the ratings are gonna go up no matter who you have. Like no matter who you put in there, the ratings are gonna go up.
No,
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 okay,
no,
okay. If you bring,
no.
okay, here's my thing.
That's where we
If you
hard
bring
disagree.
in, if you bring in Walter, okay, on one hand, and then you have Johnny Young Bosch, Johnny's gonna go up every single time. He's gonna beat
Here's my
Walter.
piss off about that whole thing.
I'm not.
Had Johnny Young
I'm
Bosch
not.
and
I'm not
Kevin
disputing that though. I'm not disputing that. I'm
No, but
saying
you're
that.
saying anytime the main OGs come back, the ratings will skyrocket. My argument is Johnny is gonna outperform Walter every single
And
time.
I didn't hear what Daniel said.
Oh.
Daniel said something about what I was saying that
that why like what makes Walter Emmanuel Jones better than David Yost? Because Walter actually puts effort into his performance as opposed to
now I'm
David.
talking about you said you used some word a rebuttal or something saying that that's a retarded way of looking at it or some shit you said.
No,
I said rebuttal. A rebuttal is
is
a counterpoint.
Yeah, it's a counterpoint.
Yeah, I just couldn't hear it because I couldn't hear you over everybody.
Yes.
Listen,
that's fine.
They could have
Yeah.
taken the money they paid Walter and David and just given it to Amy Jo, and it would have done the same.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
no. I argue. If they got Amy, it would have done better.
Oh yeah, if everyone universally loves Kimberly, and I feel like if they brought back Amy Jo as opposed to Billy and Walter, it would have been better because it would have been about this older, like this grieving young woman being guided by an older mentor that happens to be a woman as well.
Yeah, happened to be her best friend. I think that would have been a good
Yeah,
story too.
exactly.
Absolutely.
But they didn't do that.
No, well, I mean,
She didn't want to be in
that's
spandex.
on Amy Jo. Yeah, that's on Amy Jo. She didn't.
That's
wanna...
because everybody wants Walter and David Yost. That's why.
Who said that?
That's how it is. That's why.
Who said that?
No. From my understanding, they wanted Johnny, but David didn't want Johnny. This is what I'm hearing.
They had Johnny. Johnny was in the show.
No. Hold on. This is from what I heard. This is allegation, like right now. This is from what I've heard in the community backstage. Is that this is all alleged before they come after me? That David did not want to go with Johnny. That Johnny was brought in as a cameo. That Johnny would have overshadowed absolutely everyone.
Do they not have a scene together? Hold on.
No.
They do have a scene together.
They have like
I'm
one.
pretty sure they have a
No,
scene
they
together.
weren't. They were not in a scene together. No, it was
Yes,
a
they were.
video. It was a video.
No, I thought at the very end when Karen Ashley and Johnny Young Bosch both teleported into
I got
the
to
command
fact check
center.
this now because in the command center, I'm pretty sure they're all together.
And then they hug.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Anyways, from the rumors that I heard is that David did not want to be overshadowed by Johnny.
I mean, that doesn't sound that's out. That wouldn't be something he would say. It's plausible for sure.
It's plausible because I've read the book. Have you guys read the book Morphers, Monsters, and Mayhem?
No.
It's a book by Douglas Malone. You're reading it, Daniel?
Yeah, I started it.
Okay, so Douglas Malone talks about David Yost, and I think it's no surprise. Let me just say it's no surprise.
It makes
Look,
sense.
Daniel,
From what I heard from my sources, it makes sense that David would not want to be on screen with Johnny so much because Johnny would have taken over the whole thing. He would have been the leader. He would have been a better leader than Zach.
But the whole point was about the team that was with Trini. That was the whole point of the story. So Johnny wasn't. He never had a role with Twee on the show, so it wouldn't have made sense. Now, is Johnny? Would it be overshadowed? I don't know. That's all speculation, but.
In the physical performance, I'm sure.
I'm sure, maybe.
I mean, well, then in that case, I don't know. Maybe they should have just had, I don't know, David, like Billy, just get captured along with the other than just have Walter Emmanuel Jones and Adam. I don't know. From
Would you
like,
like it better if Zach was the leader instead of Billy?
who was the
Zach
one
was
taking
the
care of
leader.
men? Not David,
Zach was
not
the
Billy.
leader.
Billy was
And-
too
was-
busy
it-
That was
being busy.
supposed to be Billy, right? That was their lead into
And-
Content Fury. Was Billy
and-
taking the leadership role?
And Billy should have been the Gold Ranger too, as well.
That's a whole other thing.
No,
That's a whole other thing. Let's
freaking
not go
Jason's
here.
brother should have been the Gold Ranger.
Yeah, it was supposed to be Eric Frank. Thank you.
It was, but apparently the ratings. They brought him Austin back for ratings. Apparently.
No,
See? Ratings.
No, it wasn't the ratings. Jason said it. His brother was fucking around and he was asking for more money. Pissed off the executives, and they told him, "Okay, no, thank you." And that's when they were like, "Okay, let's make David the Gold Ranger." And this is again from what I hear backstage, from what I hear from my sources, this is all alleged part, is that David was supposed to be the Gold Ranger. David was ready to be the Gold Ranger, but then they decided to bring in Austin because they were like, "Oh, cool, that's when, we could get better ratings. We could get Austin cheaper because Austin already learned his lesson from being broke in his Jeep, and they brought him back. David was not happy with that, and he left."
This is all speculation, of course. You don't. This is
all
from
what I heard. This is from
your
sources.
unnamed sources. Okay.
Yeah, this is from my unnamed sources that were in production.
I mean,
look at the material. You be the.
They were there.
Exactly.
They were there.
My thought. Exactly. I said it.
You guys are telling me. You guys are telling me that if.
I thought so. Yes, I thought so. They had a scene together. Yeah.
You guys are telling me if Billy would have been the Gold Ranger, you're telling me it wouldn't have put more ratings than him just standing around.
It was never gonna be Billy. David Yost said it himself. It was never gonna be him, even though it would have made sense. It was never gonna be him.
It would have made sense, but it wasn't going to be him because production was playing the high school game.
Yeah.
Yeah, the two producers have Scott Page Packner or whatever called David Yost. Apparently, this is in an article. Douglas Stallone has had issues with David Yost. He got along with him the least. Daniel can confirm this if he got to that part of the book.
I might almost be there.
You might. Sorry. But we're having this discussion. Like these producers on the show are putting their names out there. These are not unnamed sources. These are people that are put their names out there to say that David Yost was a pain to work with.
So is this like a tell-all book?
Though, to be fair, I think when was this book written?
Yeah,
it was written. It was published last month.
So is it like a tell-all book?
Yes. So they talk about like
to be fair,
Jason David Frank's acting coach.
Okay, so
his acting coach.
So who was calling him a pain in the ass?
This is a producer called Douglas Stallone. He was one of the producers of the show. He was JDF's acting coach.
So I'm not gonna like take credence into that too much because I believe he was probably a pain in the ass, knowing his
You also got to remember, man, the guy was getting treated like shit.
Yeah, so let's remember that
the homophobia shit,
yeah,
the bullying, you know what I mean? Like, I gotta give the man some flowers. He put up with a lot of shit.
He did.
Out of everybody on the show, David Yost is the only person who was in every single episode from start to end.
And they were fucking belittling him for being gay, like the whole freaking time.
That's why I said production was very high school.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna take the word of a production person because
we're not gonna take the word of as they say, history is written by the victors, and in this case, it just happens to be Douglas Sloan, and we're really gonna take the word of somebody who was in a higher power position over somebody who was working for him,
and not just that one that was taking his shit from, and remember they called him the hard F word. Like, they didn't call him like a fairy. They didn't call him anything like that. Like
no sissy word, no fairy.
They called him the F. And
they called him a cigarette.
Word. Yeah. Oh, okay. I'm gonna use that. Yeah. They
called
him a cigarette.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They called him a cigarette.
But remember, this guy is also complimentary of JDF. So are you going to ignore? Are you going to discredit that as well? Or you?
I'm not going to take their word for it either.
You can like
because
someone,
remember-
you can't
tarnish his cash
Right,
cow.
right.
Yeah, and then remember also, I'm not taking the word for anybody on that production unless they give their like honest feedback about what happened and it correlates with everyone else, because I'm not just taking these stories for face value.
Mhm.
I'm listening to it and I'm looking at the facts and I'm looking at like multiple people. So not just one person told me this. This is like 2 or 3 people that are like corroborating. They're not talking to each other at the same room. This is me asking about it to different people in production. And then also what I was getting at is like it's all corroborated. Like if you ask any of the stunt people, like, oh, like did they call him the English
They call him a
cigarette?
cigarette.
Every
Yep.
single one of them are like, oh yeah, we ripped on him.
Mhm.
And then some of them will be like, you know what? It was the time. It was a different time.
There's always two. There's
Sure.
always two. There's always two sides of the coin. You have to look at it like that. There's two sides to the story.
There's always
like,
two sides.
There's
but-
3 sides. One side, the other side, and the
Yeah.
truth.
Exactly.
I don't believe in that.
Nah.
There's two sides to the coin. I don't believe in a sided
There's
thing.
actually 3 sides to the
Listen here,
coin.
Harvey
It's the
Dent.
ridge in the
There's
middle.
also 3
but-
sides to a coin. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't believe in it.
No, there it is, because remember that your point of view is always skewed.
Bias. It's
yeah,
bias.
it's always
We
biased.
can be looking at the same face of a coin and see 2 different things, my friend.
Okay, there's that story. There's that famous story that I heard in college in one of my
The allegory of the cave.
Yeah.
Huh? No,
The
not the
allegory of the-
allegory of the cave. No. So it was in my debate class. Okay, so a guy goes to court and the wife says to the judge, "My husband beat me," and the judge goes, "Holy crap!" And then he says, "Is it true?" The guy says, "Yeah, I hit her." And then the judge was about to go, and then he's like, "Wait! I hit her because she was choking on a chicken bone." And then he goes, "Holy shit, is that true?" And she's like, "Yeah, I was choking on the fucking chicken bone."
See, I understand what they're saying. I do understand that. But I look at it a certain way. I look at it black and white. I don't look at it. I don't look. Let me
gray
finish.
area,
Let me finish
Let
what
him
I'm
finish.
saying.
Let him finish.
Every time I try it, someone interrupts me.
No,
Look
go
it.
ahead.
Look it. I understand what you and Waldo are saying. I understand that you guys believe that there's 3 sides of the coins. I don't look at it like that. I look at it if there's a black and white area. There's no how my perspective is. There's no gray area. There's your side and their side. I don't see no third side of the coin. I look at it, the right side and the other side. So if it's not that, it's that. And so that's how I look at stuff. I look at it, there's 2 stories. And so I'm not saying you guys are wrong. I'm just saying this is how I see it, my opinion, how my aspect on stuff.
No, for sure, you can look at it that way, but the way that I see it, with the way you're explaining it, Sean, is that you're looking at it like that's his side, the 2 sides that you're talking about. But then there's your side, looking at all of the facts, all of the evidence, all of the stories, and then formulating your opinion on what you think the truth is.
I understand it.
Because remember that you're also going to have
Havoc.
a point of view once you
What
see
color
the
is this?
evidence. Yeah.
What color is this?
Let me see. Black.
What if I was to tell you it's red?
Then I'd
That would-
say that you're senile.
That would be your side. That'd be your opinion. That'd be
here's
your
perspective.
side.
But here's how I break it down for you. Here's perspective, right? It is red on my side, right? I'm looking at red. You're looking at black. But here's the third side of the coin. To a colorblind person, this is gray. Both sides doesn't matter, right? So it's all how you look at it, my friend.
Ooh, I like that. I like that. That's a good one. I like that. Yo, that was sick. Waldo, that was sick. I'm not gonna lie, that was sick. That was sick. I'm gonna use that as a clip, dog. That was sick.
You have to understand the way that I look at things. I look at things a little bit different than you look at things.
That's for sure.
No, and
I'm just giving you a physical example.
No, we respect that.
I know.
And we're giving you the example of how we see it. You get what I'm saying?
We're
was sick.
elaborating on why we think that there's 3 sides.
Yeah, That was
So that
slick,
way
Waldo.
you're better informed of why two sides doesn't necessarily suffice for the rest of us.
If I
Waldo,
took
that
the,
was-
if I
that
took
was
this
slick.
power coin, if I took this power coin,
Yeah.
there's two sides.
There's
Yeah.
two sides. Yeah.
Where's the third side?
Look in between.
The ridge.
There's third
It's in
sides.
between.
Look in between
No,
those two sides. What do you
no,
see?
that's not
The
a side.
ridge
That's
You're looking. You're,
that's a
you're looking at
ridge.
a third dimensional
counts.
object. You're not looking at a two-dimensional object.
Yeah, that's like if I'm standing to the side and I can't see the two sides, so what I can see. Or
I see it is two
yeah.
sides.
Okay. All right, we'll drop it. It's late, guys. It's fucking midnight on my end. Fucking
Okay.
Brent.
I mean, at
Brent
the
is
end of the
trooper.
day, when
Yeah.
when it comes down to brass tacks, Once and Always was not good. Dimension and Danger was not good. Bringing back David Yost to be in the
Forever
prime.
Red was the best.
Forever Red is the best. Once
Forever
and
Red
Always
is
the
the
second
best,
best. The team up with Ninja Storm was the third best crossover.
Oh,
Or actually,
yeah,
no.
yeah.
I lie. The In Space with the Lost Galaxy was the third best, and then it's the Ninja Storm with the Dino Thunder.
Wait. Yeah, okay, In Space too, I guess. I don't know. In Space is different because In Space also had that TMNT crossover, which was hilariously bad but good at the same time.
I don't know. Mask Rider was a good crossover too with the Rangers.
That was cool.
Oh, that's right.
All right, guys. Key point. I gotta go. We will talk again. Same place. I am gonna be doing my streams again. I'll be clipping stuff. Waldo, I'm gonna be doing that as a clip, so watch out for that. And yeah, I will see you guys again. Okay.
All right then.
All right,
Good night.
see ya.